fucking go. But we out here. Yes, sir. Yeah, welcome to today's little study research session. We're just gonna be jumping into it. I got some videos to watch right now. I'm just gonna run some games while watching these. Then after that, we're going to jump in and record some live reactions of some case reports on Etomidate, which I'm hoping to get this video up later today. If not, latest tomorrow, but should be today because this is like the tail end. Just gotta record then edit. So yeah, let's just start and do this. Anyone who joins, welcome. It's kind of like the first official like content outside of like just some casual shit that I've been doing on here. But yeah, we're gonna run some Hearthstone and run this in the background.
Tanti dicono facendo questa
And we're just gonna get
poi
to
tante
it,
cose
man.
insieme, così, no? Piano piano da
I just got these videos to watch.
Semplicemente questo magari
I'm
se
be
la
chilling.
polizia ancora non conosce
Just
bene
taking this in
questa
for right now.
sostanza
Però
riesce
si
a
vede
passare
effetto
sì, no, però dico all'inizio magari riesce a passare più
I
facilmente
got
se non sai
Italian right now,
che
so
questa cosa che cos'è, no?
Quindi adesso questa cosa anche esiste e poi sicuramente già sono entrati tanti, no? Questi tre
io non
solo
mai visto prima,
sì,
devo
sono stati
informarmi.
arrestati, però anche questo è il punto dell'iceberg.
Certo.
Già sono entrati qualche tonnellata.
Certo,
così,
sicuramente, figurati.
quindi
Se
voi-
già la polizia lo conosce, il motivo ci sarà,
sì,
l'avranno già
voi
trovato.
quando tipo fate in giro magari in un bar, soprattutto città
Just
grandi
Se
come
vi offrono
Tokyo,
una
sì,
sigaretta.
Tokyo o anche Dotonbori, Shinjuku, Shibuya, se no, un altro stranieri, no? Ah, brother, no? What's up, bro? Così, e poi, beviamo insieme, e poi, vuoi fumare questo? Non fumate
also
mai.
smoke
Sì,
here too.
perché insomma io non avevo mai visto una cosa del genere.
Così.
Al
Poi,
massimo sì,
magari
una...
loro fanno apposta così e quando tu cadi rubano tutto. Può succedere
sì,
tutto.
possono fare di tutto in quelle condizioni. Si è tipo sotto anestesia come stavano loro.
Adesso sì, questa cosa è un po' brutta perché tu sempre devi avere un po' sospetto, no? Ormai è diventato così.
Beh, però questa cosa c'è sempre stata. Io mi ricordo quando ero piccolina mi dicevano metti sempre la mano sopra i bicchieri quando vai a qualche
certo,
festa,
sì.
quando vai da qualche parte, perché comunque questa cosa già 60
Wow.
anni fa succedeva che ti mettevano la roba nei bicchieri.
Però se fanno come sigarette meno note
sì.
e poi se non sapevi questa cosa
No, ma infatti non...
posso fumare la tua sigaretta? Ah sì, e poi così e poi può diventare così. Quindi fate attenzione molto, magari anche in Italia, no? In Europa, sicuramente ce ne sono tanti già.
Io veramente non l'avevo mai sentita prima,
Oppure
mi devo un po'
sono
informare
scoperti
che
ancora,
cos'è. Non so che tipo
fate
di
attenzione
sostanza
comunque.
sia.
Poi anche questo è in Francia, Parigi, le sigarette illegale. Così,
Sì, di contrabbando,
in
beh,
giro.
questa è sì.
Però questo io non capisco, ma perché
France?
tu compri?
Okay.
Anche
See,
se
France
è
has it.
economico un pochino, tipo
I
3-4
heard
euro
UK
in
just
meno,
last
però
week, but
non
France.
sai che cosa dentro.
Vabbè, chi
non ha paura.
vuole risparmiare.
No, però senti come proprio sigarette.
Ti ricordi che anche noi quando andammo
so,
ne abbiamo visti tanti che
lo
ne
so.
vendevano
They say
in
it's in
Italia?
a
No, però
cigarette,
non
but
capisco la
it's a
mentalità
vape.
chi compra questo. Perché tu hai visto che cosa hanno messo dentro.
no,
I don't know if this
sai.
is
Perché
exactly
anche
the
loro
right one.
hanno
But
controllato e poi hanno trovato cacche o tante tipo ruota di macchina, tante cose schifezze mettono. E quindi stai fumando così.
Sì, che schifo.
Ma certo, ma puoi indovinare questa cosa, no? Anche se 3-4 euro in meno, tipo una scatola 5 euro, 10, 50 euro, così, no? Che adesso dicono Francia è proprio carissimo.
Sì, un pacchetto, io mi ricordo in Italia quanto costa 5 euro
No,
prima.
adesso 13 euro in
13
Francia.
euro un pacchetto?
In ieni è 2260, 2200.
Un pacchetto da 20 sigarette, wow.
Sì, quando ero piccolo, sì, così posso
Let me double
avere
check
una
if this is
sigaretta,
actually legit.
così, no?
Quando
Però
ero
adesso
piccola io un
è
pacco da 20
troppo.
costava 2 euro, al
Così,
cambio
certo.
lira-euro costava 2 euro un pacchetto da 20.
Certo. Però adesso nessuno ti dà
100
100
€,
yen uno.
non puoi
Caro.
fumare con questi prezzi,
Lo
cioè
so.
solo i
Perciò
ricchi.
fumano,
Da una
però...
parte è meglio,
No,
così
no,
gente non
però,
compra. Però.
scusami, fumi e ti ammali, devi andare ospedale, devi pagare molto di più.
Eh sì, dice almeno compratele normali allora.
Strano, no? Perché non c'è questo pensiero?
Perché comunque 13 € chi fuma non se li può proprio
No, e
permettere,
allora
quindi
significa proprio senti uguale, no? Deve
magari,
essere così, se no...
magari mettono un po', metà o
E chi tiene
70%,
chimiche, sì,
che ne
lo so,
so, boh.
70%, sì, però quindi devono sì, riempire il resto 30% con schifezza, sì, ma troppo rischio. Io non dico non fumare, è perché ho pensato una volta per fumatori e non fumatori, no? Se tu smetti di fumare, però sempre ti irriti e poi sei troppo stress e poi magari picchi e muori e così, no? E poi se fumi e tu calmi un po'. E allora qual è meglio? Anche se tu magari puoi avere malattie, però qual è più sano?
No,
Perché
vabbè,
con questo stress anche può avere la malattia, no? L'altra malattia. Quindi non possiamo comparare bene, però
no, vabbè, tu
difficile.
se vuoi fumare fai del male a te stesso e quindi è un tuo problema, è un tuo diritto anche scegliere cosa fare del tuo corpo e tutto, però l'importante è che non costringi anche gli altri
Quello sì.
a assorbire questa sostanza, perché ad esempio se un bambino abita in casa con un genitore che
I need to pause. We're just getting to that into a little stage. Gotta look at the best pick. Keep that.
You call that a blade? I've got 3.
Time waits for no one.
fuma,
quello sì.
da piccolino
non va bene.
cresce inalando sempre questa sostanza e comunque non è giusto perché lui non può scegliere se
Mm.
fumare sì o no. Però se te la vai a fumare in balcone, alla fine il corpo è tuo, cavoli tuoi, cioè quello sì. Oppure se uno ti fuma a fianco mentre sei in giro, si siede a fianco e si mette a fumare, cioè no. Se io non voglio fumare, se a me dà fastidio, tu non lo sai, no? Sarebbe meglio avere un po' delle accortezze quando si fuma. Ok, dopo la predica chiudiamo questo
Come
notiziario
sempre,
di oggi.
Non finiamo mai, possiamo parlare 2-3 ore.
This one was pretty interesting because they mentioned the time when they come up in Europe. This is what? 8 months. Okay.
Your souls belong to me.
Fuck this nigga. Alright. Man.
What to do?
Let's do this.
A frozen treat as sweet as me.
Shit. I wonder what will happen if I do this.
Job done.
Do we keep that? I don't even fucking know. Alright.
Eyes on the horizon!
No, I think they just matched it. Alright. We'll move on to the next video here. It's a 37-minute video. That's fucked.
One word has dominated the headlines over the past couple of days. And if you've guessed K-pots, that's what we're talking about today. Now, this isn't about fruit-flavored or nicotine-infused vapes anymore. It's about drug-laced devices, some containing substances so strong that users get the shakes, walk around like zombies, or struggle to function normally. Many of them are young people, and the stories are heartbreaking. Parents have reported cases where their kids tried to harm themselves or worse, attempt suicide while high. Now, to confront this growing problem,
Man, this
the
is
Straits
tough, man.
Times has launched Vaping, the Invisible Crisis campaign as a way to raise awareness and to advocate for stronger measures to tackle the issue. Now, today I'm joined by three guests who will share their viewpoints on K-pots and vaping. And before we get into it, if you have any questions or hot takes for my guests as we chat, drop them in the comments and I'll keep an eye out for them. Now, back to my guests. My first guest is my colleague from the Straits Times and crime reporter Nadine Chua. Welcome to the show, Nadine. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And next to you on the couch is Yeo Chee Keng, SMC MP. Etomidate.
Straits Times
Now,
be
you've
killing
raised
it
multiple
with the
questions
info,
on
I ain't gonna
vaping in
lie.
the past few years, and you also have 5 kids aged between 7 and 15. So they're about the age where many of the users kind of get into K-pots.
In primary school and secondary school, yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about it in a bit. And my other guest on the couch is Narasimhan Tivashiha Mani, who is the Executive Director of Youth Mental Health Charity Impart. And you've encountered teens using K-pots. And you've also done outreach and engagement for youth who struggle with drug-related issues beyond K-pots as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, guys. Thank you very much. I want to start with Nadine. So you've been reporting this from the ground. And for those who've only seen the headlines, can you help us understand what's going on
That's
with K-pots?
fucked.
Like, what is it and what does it do to users?
So there's like 2 sections. There's vapes and then there's K-pots. And vapes are usually laced with nicotine. And when it comes to K-pots, it's really scary because what's inside is this drug called Etomidate. And what it does, it's originally intended for usage in the medical field. So under clinical supervision, it's supposed to be injected directly into the veins. But when it is inhaled via vapes and through the lungs, it actually causes seizures. You know, like you said, the users walk around like zombies and they just kind of lose control. And that's what's so scary about it, because now K-pots are really taking over and many young people are using it.
Are we not seeing... So we've seen videos. I've seen videos.
Yeah.
And I've seen the kids walking around. Are there... what's going on behind closed doors that we're not seeing? Like,
I think, well, the kids, they used to be doing it quite discreetly, secretly in their rooms. Now it's become such a normalized phenomenon that people are just doing it in the parks or at malls. Parents have written in to tell us that their kids, you know, used to be quite shy about it. They would hide it in the drawers. Now they just lay it out on the kitchen table and they just use it, you know, outside schools even. And I think that's scary because you know, with the young people and all the influence that they have with each other nowadays, they're all just using it together and it's quite normalized.
so you've covered drug-related issues
Yeah.
beyond K-pots, you know, in the course of your career, right? What makes the K-pop situation different?
Why? I think it's very insidious because you don't know the health effects that it has on the person. And I think many users, they have told us that they actually didn't really know the health effects it has on them. With drugs, it's pretty clear that, you know, there's certain health effects and it's been made clear throughout the years, especially in Singapore. But with K-pots and with the drug Etomidate inside it, they don't know what's going to happen. And then when they take it and when they start being addicted to it, it gets a bit too late. And then many of them, they say that they lose their jobs or they get fired because they just don't turn up for work. They can't turn up for work because they are so dazed out that they just kind of lose their train of thoughts and how they usually would function on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's why it's so much scarier than drugs.
I want to ask Naresh for a second because you have dealt with kids who have, you know, smoked these K-pots, right? What are they saying in their circles about vapes or these drug-laced vapes? Like, what do they call it? How do they get it? I'm surprised they're kids. Like, how do you get? To me, it's shocking. And I'm probably a bit naive about it because I don't go looking for it. But what are you hearing about kids? And
There's
how-
a very relaxed mind state about the whole K-pots or vape taking, right? consuming it. So I think a lot of these young people are just getting the vapes from like Telegram groups, WhatsApp, informally. They are able to just reach out to someone, and you can get it as soon as like 20 minutes.
What is express service? Wow.
That's right, that's right. So a lot of them have found it hard to get cigarettes because of the law, right? And now this, I would say primary schoolers or even secondary schoolers are just getting their hands on, as long as they have the money for it, they can buy it just off anyone that is going to be able to sell it to them in a discreet manner. You don't need to tell your age, you don't need to tell who you are. You can just get it just by using some money and all that. Yeah.
What is the appeal of it? I mean, I'm just going to ask everyone, because Hongwing, you have kids.
Yeah.
And Nadine, you've spoken to users and stuff, and Naresh, you've dealt with kids who have this. What is the appeal of it, especially when they've seen how their friends react to it? You know, like, are they trying to use it as a form of escapism or something?
Fucked up
just
on
trying
that
to
last play.
Be with the crowd, with my friends. My friends are doing it. Why am I not doing it? And trying to be cool, I think.
It's pretty general,
And
but
at their age,
it's
they
good
are
to see.
very, very resourceful. Go on Telegram.
Fuck
it's
this nigga.
anonymous, just message someone and the thing comes. And all these K-pods, the way they are packaged, the way they look, actually you can't really tell what it is. You can hide it in a pencil case. Are the teachers, are the principals trained to detect what are these things? I don't think so. I think because all the devices are really very, very innocuous. So I think enforcement and checking on students is something that we need to look into.
So vapes are now basically the people who are targeting this to the young people have targeted it well, right? They have made it look like a toy, made it look like a highlighter, made it look like a very nice, trendy
Pen.
thing to carry or pen to carry, right? And so therefore, the appeal is that I want to have this as a young person. So there's a trend around it right now, and so people are trying to follow the trend. There are also groups of people who are curious about what is this, right? And I want to say that there's also another demographic of people who are thinking that this is much better than me taking hard drugs.
Okay.
And so therefore I'm going to switch to this.
Okay.
Because the side effects are lesser as compared to taking a harder drug.
Okay, but what is the misconception here? That it's not as bad as hard drugs. What is the misconception that people have about Etomidate?
So from what the youths are telling me, the misconception here, it is addictive.
Oh, so
And
they
it's
don't think they'll get
addictive.
addicted.
Yeah.
Oh, it's even more addictive than they think it is.
Than even a pill, or ketamine, they call it.
Okay.
So I think that's the misconception here, and it makes them feel that they want to take this whole day around.
It's the usual thing. Good to hear
so
about that.
That's
Confirmation.
quite an escalation of. It's not just me smoking a vape, or it's just it has a lot of effects on you. How immediate is the effect? Like if I'm a new user, do y'all know?
I think when they first start out, the new users think, I can stop it anytime I want. I'm just trying it, I can stop it. But it slowly becomes an addiction. That's what's scary. And then soon enough, they're taking it the whole day. And I would say that it's scary because for hard drugs, it's harder to get around and to get it on Telegram or wherever. But with vapes and K-pods, it's really easy to get it on Telegram. And they have so many flavors. We were looking at some of the Telegram group chats yesterday, actually. And they came up with like bubble tea flavors like Tie Guan Yin and different fruits. And then they have different flavors and it's so interesting, like cotton candy and everything. So to the young people, like the 12 and 13-year-olds, and we've seen users as young as 11 years old use it, they are so, captivated by these flavors. To them, it's like, it's just another drink that I can try.
Compared to cigarettes is smelly, the smoke. K-pods, it's sweet, many different flavors, and it's cool to just use them.
It's cool.
Appeal to the young.
And it's as soon as one puff, you already get the side effects. The feeling of floatiness, a sense of high, right? And the speech might be a little bit staggered or slowed down.
Nadine, is this why ST is calling it an invisible crisis?
Definitely. I think the side effects seem like it's quite invisible. Like it's something that I'll just take it, there are no side effects. And it's also invisible, it's an invisible crisis because, well, it's just insidious. It's something that people don't know that is creeping up on them. And I think parents have told us that it's the invisible crisis because they don't even know their children are taking it. And these are parents with healthy relationships with their children. It's not like they are shut off from their parents. They have conversations at the dinner table, but you don't know what your kid is doing in school and taking in school. And then they hide it, like you said, in the pencil case. It looks like a highlighter. The mom looks through the pencil case. They
You
don't.
can't find it.
Yeah, because to them it really does look like a highlighter or like a makeup product. Someone told me. Yeah, so I think that's what.
Highlighter or makeup
because we
product,
think that it's something that we really need to deal with.
This is fucked.
This issue, well, before K-pop became a thing, you've
Yeah.
already raised this issue in
Yes.
Parliament, right? What made you choose to speak up about this issue? I mean, have you heard residents coming to you about vaping?
So I've heard residents coming to me, concerned parents. As a teacher, I do have friends who are still in the teaching service who shared with me that actually this is a big problem in schools, not only in the primary and secondary, but also in the institutes of higher learning, in the universities. And really, is there enough enforcement, to tackle this issue? And I think we can definitely do much more to make sure that people don't see it as something that's very normal, that you can just pick it out, vape, and then just carry on with life. This is something that's illegal, and if something is illegal, we should make sure that we have the right resources to enforce against the act itself.
Can I ask you, since you are talking to your teacher friends, what do they say? Have they noticed kids doing it in school? Like, and how the kids doing it if they are?
So they keep it in their pencil case, they keep it in their bag. You can't really tell what it is. Take it out, go to the toilet, vape.
Got any do during class?
I think
Because they
most,
kind of, to me, it's like they kind of need it, right?
Yeah,
Then it's like, do they
yeah.
like take it out?
most
during
of the time they just do it in the toilet.
class? Okay.
Because if you're doing it in the toilet, there's not really
Doing it in the
maybe you go in,
toilet.
you smell something fruity, something sweet, then maybe someone is vaping. Yeah. And it's a bit better than smoking, because if you smoke in the toilet, you can
It's an
literally
obvious
smell. It's
giveaway,
very, very
right?
obvious. Yeah, a lot of telltale signs.
This
And
is
how-
just
how are
hilarious.
kids hiding it from adults. Have they told you?
Oh my.
They just bring it wherever they go, right? And they can just even smoke it really quickly. You won't even see the vapor, or you won't even see the smoke. Right?
Facts.
I think that makes it a lot more harder to find, and the smell. If someone smells, you can smell them. And they have just smoked, right? But when it comes to vape, it's just a fruity smell.
So that's the really the giveaway lah. If you smell it, then it's
Fuck.
someone around you is doing it.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the stories? Because I mean, I know Nadine wrote it, but have you seen the stories of the weekend that ST did? Because to me, it's kind of the most heartbreaking one that stuck with me was the mom who was trying to help her kid, like so badly, and then she called a lot of agencies. So she called CMB, and then she got directed to HSA, and then she was so
Nice.
desperate she even called her son's like army. He's in the army, and she got through to the person in charge, and the person was like, if he doesn't smoke on camp, then when he's at camp, then that's not really our problem, right? So that one was heartbreaking to me because he tried to commit suicide in some.
Yeah, many of them have suicide ideations. They just and they've attempted it, unfortunately. And I think what was really heartbreaking was when the mom told me, like, at the third time when he attempted suicide, she told me, I'm not sure if I should have just let it happen, because if he continues down this path, it's like he's gone anyway. She looks at her son and she no longer recognizes him after all this K-pop addictions, and it's really heartbreaking because these are parents and they care. She told me, I'm actually a parent. I feel like I'm a present parent. I care, and yet my son is still doing that. And she was telling me, imagine the parents that don't care, that have to work, odd jobs and multiple jobs to keep the family afloat, and then they have no idea what's happening with their kids. I have a rough idea of what's happening with my kids, and yet it's still happening, and I can't stop it. And she's calling all these agencies. She's desperate, and it's really hard because it's broken her family.
So I wanted to ask why this happens. Like, why does the why do the different agencies are seemingly not unable to help, and what needs to change, from a policy perspective?
I think of course, when the parents call CMB, it is not under CMB's purview because Etomidate is not under the Misuse of
pretty
Drugs
good.
Act. It's under the Poisons
Poisons
Act.
Act.
That's right. So
not
they do get
bad.
referred to HSA.
Yes.
And what HSA does is they do their best. I mean, they are really trying as well. And they issue a fine and they confiscate the vape. And the parents tell me, after that, my son just gets another vape. He can pay off the fine pretty easily, and
pretty
then he gets
good.
another vape. So I think what needs to be done, and we've looked at the legislation quite widely, and people have said that, it needs to be tighter, it needs to be placed under the Misuse of Drugs Act. From then, we can, there can be harsher jail terms,
Yep.
harsher fines, and especially for trafficking, the traffickers are dealt with properly.
So different agencies look after different legislations. So that's what you mentioned. Currently, Etomidate is under the Poisons Act itself, and it's under the purview of HSA. But HSA itself is really a
Fuck
generally a
that.
science-based agency.
That's
They're
fuck.
not really an enforcement agency. Enforcement is something that they do, but I wouldn't say that it is something that is really their primary focus. So I think if it is, if K-POTS and whatever is in it is under the Misuse of Drugs Act, it will be under the purview of CMB, and therefore there will be harsher penalties. And I think by doing that, the public would perhaps sit up and recognize that it is something that the government is doing. There's something very, very serious, and the right enforcement powers will be there to deal with the problem.
So Parliament sits in September,
Yes.
still a couple of months, and you've already floated up several ideas about sharper enforcement at borders and parcel hubs to
Yep.
to legal updates that could qualify drug-laced vape devices under the Poison Act, right? Whereas now currently under the Poison Act, you want to update it.
Yes.
Okay. You've also suggested faster testing of new substances in hospitals and toxicology labs and a 24/7 public reporting
Yes. Today,
system, right? Yeah.
today under HSA, the reporting line is only office hours.
So if you spot someone at 9 p.m., then
You can't.
too bad.
Yeah, too bad. Yeah, so maybe we should enhance the reporting channels as well. Maybe have it on an app. Besides having a number, make it 24/7, so that if you suspect that someone is trafficking K-POTS or misusing this, at least the authorities would know, get some intel and can conduct the relevant kind of actions.
I mean, I'm kind of like in between here because of what to do. Like, do you want to report kids? That's the thing that I can't sit with. Like, do you want to report kids? Although we should get them help, right? And then do we want to be like telling on each other? But what's your take? Like, if we have this like reporting line, because I've seen the video of the teenagers at Punggol, I want to say, where they're walking around, they keep belly stand, right? And then
Yeah.
you kind of want to get them help because this is not regular behavior. And it's kind of scary if I'm a member of the public. I was like, oh my goodness, what's happening? But to me, it's always they're still kids. Do we want to report them in that sense? I mean, I don't know if you guys agree with me.
I think the most important thing is that the primary consideration is I want to help them. And am I helping them if I'm not reporting it? So I think, for me, I think it's still necessary to report. But what actions you take is important as well. So like for instance, you mentioned, what do you do with kids that are doing this? Maybe it is not to slap them with a fine or jail them, but perhaps parents or the school can take a more involved stance in terms of educating them, making sure that they know that this is very, very dangerous to their health and they should stop doing it. And more public awareness, more education campaigns, maybe even getting, personalities, celebrities to come forward and make an informed awareness campaign to deal with this issue.
Naresh, I want to ask. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Actually, I would say just the enforcement alone may not be helpful for these young people.
Oh
right?
my
Because some of
lord.
them even want to be more rebellious. I would say that alongside with the deterrence, because some of the parents have actually really have no other avenue to seek help because the youth is not working together with them. Perhaps for that, the enforcement or the deterrence action would help them, right? But there should also be a restorative, rehabilitative route that we need to be able to seek. And as much as we are, I would say, strengthening the deterrence portion of the work, I feel like we need to also strengthen the community rehabilitative approach also. And that's where I will come in for these young people. Many of them are actually
Bullshit.
lost. Many of them don't have a future direction. Some of them they think that they know what they're going to do in the future, but they just kind of trapped in this cycle of despair and not knowing where they're going towards to in life. So the question for us as Impact is, can we give them a place
Terrible.
where may it be a sport or an interest that
It was
they
that same
like,
card.
and then
Fuck you.
we see what can be done for them in that community, and can we use sports as a way to help them to say that, you know, hey, this doesn't help for you to be an athlete, you know. Can we do a bit of a diversionary kind of work with these young people rather than just putting them
Oh
in
my
prison,
god.
putting them in a home
That's insane work.
for that matter.
I think I'm still trying to kind of come to terms with that. This is a crisis in a sense, right? I mean, the last couple of days with the stories and everything has kind of proven, and actually, people have written to us, right? After
So
the, just want to quickly get some thoughts about
Well-
what were people saying when they wrote in.
Well, when we first launched the campaign on Sunday, we didn't expect the influx of emails that we did get. And a lot of the parents were telling me, goodness, I feel so seen. I didn't know that what I am going through with my kids are what other parents are going through with their kids.
Oh.
And they were kind of, they thought they were alone in this. But we received so many emails from parents, and even wives whose husbands take K-pops. Like, they said, wow, I didn't know it was such an issue. I thought it was just something that was affecting my family. They felt, and I think because of that, they felt like they could speak up. And I'm so glad they did, because in each stories they tell, more parents and more loved ones are stepping forward and saying, you know, I'm facing this issue, I'm facing that issue with my kids. And we've seen kids who use it at such a different age range, you know, not just 13, 14, that kind of age. We've seen like mothers who struggle with kids, with their children, adult children, 27, 28, 29. So definitely we've really been overwhelmed with the number of emails that have come in. But I think it kind of shows and validates why we are doing this.
It's a big problem.
Certainly not an issue that it can be just swept under the rug. It's something that needs to be dealt with, and there needs to be actual change and actual action for it to be settled.
How many are you worried for your kids? Because they're at an 8. Well, they're in school, primary school, secondary school, right? Your eldest is 15.
Yep.
Which seems to be where many kids, you know, get their hands on K-pops.
Yeah.
What is your biggest worry?
I'm worried because many of them at that age is very impressionable. They want to make sure that they can fit into the group, and they may, you know, think that doing something like this is very cool. Yeah. So naturally, as a parent, I am worried, and I hope that we can put more effort to deal with the issue.
I raised it because, to me, Singapore has a very strong anti-drug message. I mean, even from the time you're a kid, you hear it all the time. I mean, they go to school, CMB goes to, I mean, I would believe they go to schools, and they talk to kids, they say, don't do this, and you kind of ingrain with it. This is how everybody knows Singapore has no tolerance on drugs, right? How do we get to this point? Like, what is different about this generation, you know, Gen Zs, Gen Alphas, that this messaging is like completely, well, not completely, but it's something just
This is pretty baseline. I mean, these guys do good work, but it's pretty baseline level video
Something that is safer
on the
than
situation.
cigarettes. I'm doing it like I rather be addicted to vapes than be addicted to cigarettes. It's like a
We got
thing, but I
plenty
think
to
it's
work
concerning
with.
because
Let's
it's
get
a
higher
gateway.
cost cards.
Many people don't use it
It's
with
really
that.
good.
So they do vapes, they start with vapes, then they move on to K-pop, which is replaced. And then what's next? You know, I like these two things. What's next on the list? And then do we open the doors and open the floodgates for that to come in? And then how strong is our misuse, our say no to drugs, you know, narrative, and to ensure that these kids don't get there. I think that's what's concerning. So they genuinely think it's okay, and that it is completely normal, and it's completely something. In fact, I've heard some people tell me that their friends tell them, why don't you do, like, why don't you vape? Like, we are all vaping, like, what?
How
What's
did
wrong with
everybody
you?
become like a pusher here? Like, you know what
Yeah.
he's like?
And it's like, and I can imagine because kids are so influenced, like you said, at that age, if all their friends are doing it, I kind of feel like I need to as well.
So it first started off with the vape dealer marketing info manipulation scheme, I would call it, to say that vape is better than cigarettes. That's how it first started. Now I'm even hearing people telling me, "Hey Naresh, you know right? K-pots doesn't have the K." So I asked, "What do you mean by that?" Right? So I said, "It's not ketamine. I used to be addicted to ketamine, but now I'm taking K-pots, right? They say that
Like it's
the
better.
substance there is a medical grade substance. Hence, nothing will happen to me because doctors also use it. So when they are trying to justify it in this way, and they are putting a very liberal stance on it and saying it's okay, it's not drugs, it's okay, it's not cigarettes, it doesn't have tar and everything, right? So you all adults just got to chill out because we know what we are doing. But what they are actually telling me is what the vape pushers have sold that idea to them.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's scary.
that's really scary.
So for
A lot of
parents,
misinformation.
Nourish, do you have kids? I know.
I have many kids.
Yeah, many kids. Yeah, well, you do look well. Yeah, you do look after kids. I'm asking because should a parent find themselves in a situation where they see their kids having vapes, right? What do you do then? What do you think can be done? Like right now, before we have legislation change, like what can be done?
I think we just have to do our part as parents to inform, to educate them, to tell them about the dangers and not shy away from the issue. And if there
Katrina.
are certain initiatives by HSA to stop them from doing so, maybe refer to the rights agency to seek help.
Fuck that.
I
What
think
the
there needs
fuck?
to be awareness amongst
Yeah.
parents, educators, and other people who are working with young people. Right, that's one. And I think that the youths need to know there are side effects for this vape and I would say vape with laced with drugs.
Man, what the
that
fuck?
some people can even die, and that's medically proven already. So I think they need to realize that this is life threatening. It's no longer a fun thing that you're going to do.
I want to round off by asking, if we don't do anything about K-pots now, what could we possibly see in the future? Like, what's the longer term effect of not addressing it soon?
Well, I've seen videos already of those K-pop users, and they are struggling to walk. They're struggling to open the doors, and they're taking 2 minutes to open a simple door lock. And a mother told me that if this continues, right? What if we see more kids in doing that and like
It's good to
walking
hear
around
some
in
of
a
these
zombified
quotes at least.
manner, walking in the parks and everything? And it's very concerning because if there's not a legislation change, and in fact, if there's not an attitude change
Chorus.
towards it, an attitude that says that's wrong, I'm not going to do it, because I think a legislation, while important, it can only go so far. If the youth continue to have relaxed attitudes towards vapes, we're fighting a losing battle.
So it's not just about K-pots, it's about vaping.
Vaping, K-pots, and that family of insidious objects. Yeah, that's why I feel.
I think it's maybe from a societal point of view, it is really, if you don't do anything about it, you are normalizing something that is illegal, and yet, as a society, we are closing our eyes on the issue, and I think that shouldn't be the case. And in fact, if something that is against the law, we will need to do something about it. We need to enforce against it. We need to make sure the right agencies are looking at the problem. We need to make sure that there's public awareness, there's education, and that we are able to do our best to eradicate it.
Yeah, I think if you don't do anything about it, the K-pop pushers are only going to get stronger in trying to add more substances.
Yeah, I was just
into it.
gonna say, like, they could start selling other things, right? in it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have THC already on our shores. It could be more, right? And so we don't know what else these people can add. And if these young people are already vaping,
Gas
they
not
are
here.
already a potential customer, right? then actually we are at the losing end of the war. Actually, that's what I feel.
So we actually have a question coming in from a viewer called Jonathan, and he asked, should substances for K-pops be formally classified as controlled drugs, and what impact would this have on enforcement and sentencing? So I think this is a bit of like a what from a
I
legal point
think
of view.
currently is the most prevalent one is Etomidate, and I think we my personal opinion is that I think we should classify under the MDA. As to other drugs, I think the authorities will need to look into it, because I think there are various policy considerations, whether something should be under the Poisons Act or under MDA. But if something is, I mean, if the substance itself is being abused to a very extent, and really a lot of downstream implications on society, then I think we should relook at the legislation.
I agree. I definitely think
The
that
fuck did I
Etomidate,
cast?
for a start, should be under the Misuse of Drugs Act and not under the Poisons Act.
The fuck
And,
did we
you know, like I
cast?
said, because of that, the legislation then can be stronger, harsher penalties. It will deter people from using it. It will deter people from trafficking it. Because right now, a lot of people are saying, you know, I just
This
get a
nigga
fine,
wants me to
I
move
just get my
faster.
K-pops confiscated.
Oh, sorry, can I clarify? So you get a fine if you get caught using it.
Yeah.
If you get caught trafficking it, which has happened in the past couple of days,
Yes.
a couple of people have been caught.
It's a jailable offense.
Okay, but do they get caned?
They do not.
Would this be something that you would advocate, because caning is supposed to be a deterrent in a sense, right?
I think this is something the authorities should look
Yeah,
at.
we should look
Yeah,
into it.
definitely.
We should look into it.
Yeah.
So how long do they get jailed for? What's the maximum sentence? Not how long, but what's the maximum?
I know that if you use K-pops or vapes, it's $2,000 maximum fine. That is, to many parents, they're saying that is not deterrent enough for my kid. Because my
Okay, but
kid
anyways, the
can.
parent who pays
Maximum fine 2K.
Yeah, I don't
What's the
know.
consequence of that?
I don't
Can
know
make it
any
out of
like
that now.
Fines for it.
13
I mean, as a high schooler,
to pay for a fine. Like,
Usually the first
make it out of that in a
offences,
couple weeks
I
if you
heard it's
really
like
hustled in the drug
Okay,
game, right?
Yeah.
I have a parent with a child that was 16-year-old who called the HSA, and at the end of the day, the parent is the one who paid for the fine.
Yeah.
Or they'll come to the MP and appeal.
oh no! So basically, a fine doesn't. Well, it's kind of something that they can work with, right?
If
Like
it's a
says, okay,
13-year-old that gets fined,
Yeah.
definitely mommy and daddy are paying for it. Yeah.
So we should relook at what kind of punishment they should be getting, right? Because the punishment is for the parent, for the for not controlling the child or something.
Yeah.
And I think rehabilitation is such an important topic as well.
That's right.
So if you're being caught vaping, yeah, you get fined, yeah, you have your K-pop confiscated, but do you have any opportunity to go to rehab? And is it mandated? Or is it like an option? You know, you can go if you want to, but I think if it's mandated, they'll be so much stronger.
Yeah, and we have the facilities for that. We have the National Addiction Management Service at IMH. So they can go there and they can get the help. So some of our users, we bring
Oh
them there,
shit.
right? Because that is a way to tell them that, hey, actually what you're doing, need a psychiatrist, need a counselor, need someone to look at you, right? And I think it's also a subtle messaging in the deterrence, but yet also thinking about how do you rehabilitate the young person.
I want to ask you if you have seen people who come forward on their own volition to say, I want to quit this. Because
pretty
what we're hearing
good.
are people who are caught with it. But do you all see like people who say, I want to quit, but I don't
See,
know where
is that
to
enough?
Oh, yeah.
start?
Hold up. Alright. 6, 7. Plus another 6 right now. It's 13. Alright. Just play safe. Just get rid of that.
Time waits for no one.
was a terrible point.
We
Terrible.
have that. So I have a boy who came to me and he says, I really need to stop this
Because
it's not helping me. It is not helping me to go
So
to work. And
terrible.
so that's when you know that addiction has got a
Taken
hold
over,
on this
yeah.
person, right? Because he's not able to go to work, he's not able to go to school. Then the
He's
school
bailing
has to
out.
let him go, expel him because of truancy, right? Then you know that actually this young person is already caught in the whole addiction process.
Fuck.
If the young person is aware and wants to change, that's half the battle won.
Yes.
The fact that he is approaching help and he's getting help,
Oh,
he definitely
unlucky.
won't go down the addiction path again if he continues that attitude. And I think
That's
that's what is very, it's
Rare.
it's rare.
It's rare. Seldom see such cases.
okay, well, I want to end off by asking Nadine. So, this is a question that I didn't think I would ask you, but I wanted to ask what can we see? How will Straits Times continue to cover this campaign? Because in the last couple of days, we've seen a lot of anecdotes, and I think it's, like I said, was like super heartbreaking. And also the video with the guys vaping, there were two brothers who were vaping. I don't know if you also, and that gave me the chills, and because that really put it in perspective of, because actually, to be honest, when I started doing this whole episode, I was like, nah, it's not. It's not. Are you sure it's a crisis? Yeah. But then when I saw that video, I was like, oh, okay. If this person's my neighbor and they're like, struggling to walk and stumbling about, I would be scared actually to live next to, because you're so out of it and you don't know what they're gonna do to you, right? But I want to know what else SC is gonna cover in the future.
I think with this campaign, we'll keep it as long as it kept, because we see it as, currently we don't see an end to this campaign, and I think that we'll continue to put out stories
Oh
out there,
shit,
because we
let's
believe
see.
that with each
Forgot
story that's
about
being
this.
put out there, it creates awareness to the readers. It also lets people know
Insane.
that are going through this, that they are not alone. And
Insane.
I think we'll continue this because something needs to be done about it. So as a team,
Insane.
we don't see an end to this campaign for now, and we'll keep putting out as much as we can so that we can just, hopefully the next conversation we'll have is the fact that legislation has changed, and that Etomidate is under the Misuse of Drugs Act, and then hopefully we'll see attitudes change. That's the end goal.
Okay, hopefully we'll come
Oh
back
my
in a
god.
couple of months when hopefully things have like switched up, right, and then we'll see something different.
Well,
Definitely.
it's over.
Thank you all for being
Thank
on the
you.
show today.
Thanks.
It's
Thank you so
over.
much.
Thank you.
Fuckers.
And that's it from the usual place. Now, if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss the next episode. And if you have thoughts on what we just spoke about, drop a comment on YouTube or talk to me on Instagram at
Well, that was decent. Nothing too crazy. We got a 7-minute.
Encore. Ces rues impeccables, ces
And
vitrines silencieuses, ces panneaux qui disent où marcher, où s'arrêter,
is this
où
Japanese?
respirer. Une ville parfaite,
French.
du moins en surface. Car sous cette perfection, il y a quelque chose qui brûle. Pas dans les cendriers, dans les vapes. Depuis quelques mois, un mot étrange circule dans les médias japonais. Zombies dans les vapes.
This is
Depuis
pretty good.
quelques mois, un mot étrange circule dans les médias japonais. Zombie cigarette. Une expression à la fois drôle et inquiétante, un phénomène qui mêle mode, interdit et chimie, et qui en dit long sur la société japonaise d'aujourd'hui. Au Japon, se détendre avec autre chose que du café ou de la nicotine, c'est quasiment impossible. Les lois sont strictes, les sanctions immédiates, la honte publique assurée. Un simple écart peut ruiner une carrière, voire une réputation entière. Alors certains cherchent ailleurs. Ils ne veulent pas transgresser, seulement s'échapper un peu. Mais quand toutes les issues sont fermées, les fissures deviennent des portes. Après les bonbons à effet rapide, après le détournement de médicaments courants, voici donc les zombies cigarettes, ces vapes trafiqués qui contiennent non pas de la nicotine, mais un mélange anesthésiant puissant détourné de son usage médical. Ce produit n'est pas censé être inhalé, il est normalement utilisé pour endormir des patients avant une opération. Mais dans les ruelles d'Okinawa, de Mie ou de Tokyo, certains l'ont transformé en expérience. L'ingrédient principal s'appelle Etomidate, un nom qui, jusqu'à récemment, ne disait rien à personne. Mais aujourd'hui, il suffit de le taper sur les réseaux sociaux japonais pour tomber sur des vidéos inquiétantes. Des jeunes qui titubent, des corps qui se plient en deux, des visages figés, et un comportement étrange, presque mécanique, d'où le surnom Zombie Cigarettes. Dans plusieurs préfectures, la scène est devenue familière. Quelqu'un s'effondre sur le trottoir, les bras lourds, les yeux vides, sans odeur d'alcool ni signe visible de blessure. Et autour, des passants qui filment sans comprendre. Le plus troublant, c'est que ce phénomène est apparu avant même que la loi ne puisse réagir, car jusqu'à la mi-2025, l'Etomidate n'était pas considéré comme une substance interdite. Résultat, impossible de punir clairement sa possession. La réalité a devancé la réglementation. Le Japon adore les règles, mais la modernité crée toujours des zones grises. Les cigarettes électroniques par exemple sont légales, mais les liquides à la nicotine ne le sont pas. En revanche, rien n'interdit d'importer ces liquides pour usage personnel, un paradoxe total. C'est dans cette brèche que les zombies cigarettes ont prospéré. Des flacons vendus en ligne, expédiés depuis la Thaïlande, la Corée du Sud ou Hong Kong, les étiquettes changent, les formules aussi. Un jeu du chat et de la souris entre ces revendeurs et les autorités. Et comme souvent, c'est la jeunesse qui devient le laboratoire de cette...
Yeah, we'll just switch it, I guess. Are we trying to? I don't know. Are we trying to run this shit? Fuck it, we'll just run it.
Confusion. Le phénomène dépasse le Japon. Dans toute l'Asie, les vapes détournés se multiplient. En Thaïlande, on parle de K-pods. À Hong Kong, les hôpitaux ont signalé des cas de perte de conscience. À Taïwan, les douanes ont saisi plus de 100 kg de cartouches contaminées. Même à Singapour, où la vape est strictement interdite, certains réseaux continuent d'en vendre sous le manteau. Chaque pays réagit différemment, mais partout, la logique est la même. Le contrôle échoue toujours à suivre la... chimie. Dès que le sujet a explosé dans les médias japonais, les autorités ont réagi à leur manière. Communiqués alarmistes, déclarations politiques, débats sur la fameuse perte des valeurs. Certains députés ont même demandé l'interdiction totale du vapotage, peu importe le liquide ou le fabricant. Pour eux, la vape n'est pas une technologie, c'est une faille morale, une tentation occidentale qui met en danger la jeunesse japonaise. Mais cette panique occulte une réalité plus complexe. La majorité des utilisateurs de vape au Japon n'ont rien à voir avec ces dérives. Leur but n'est pas de planer, mais d'arrêter le tabac classique. Sauf que les médias préfèrent la peur à la nuance. Quand tout est interdit, le simple fait d'essayer devient un acte de rébellion. Et dans un pays où la pression sociale écrase tout, le besoin de relâchement est immense. Les jeunes japonais vivent dans une société où l'échec n'est pas permis, où la performance est une obligation, et où l'espace pour respirer se réduit chaque année. Alors, certains testent les limites. Le problème n'est pas la recherche d'évasion en soi, mais l'absence d'alternatives légales, culturelles ou émotionnelles pour le faire sans danger. À force de verrouiller toutes les issues, le Japon finit par fabriquer ses propres failles. Les zombies cigarettes ne sont pas arrivées dans les clubs ni dans les festivals. Elles sont nées sur les réseaux sociaux. TikTok, Instagram, X, de courtes vidéos montrant des jeunes vaciller dans les rues. Certains sont tournés comme des sketchs, d'autres comme des défis. On rit, on partage, on imite. C'est là que le phénomène prend une tournure inquiétante. Le danger devient esthétique, le malaise devient tendance. Et dans un pays où la retenue est une norme, montrer la perte de contrôle devient presque libérateur en fait. C'est le corps qui dit non. Non à la discipline, une forme de rébellion silencieuse et autodestructrice. Face à cela, la réponse politique est prévisible. Conférences de presse, promesses de sanctions, discours sur la jeunesse dévoyée, comme toujours, la société japonaise choisit la morale plutôt que la compréhension. Les responsables parlent de faible volonté, de mauvais exemples venus de l'étranger. Mais ils oublient que ces comportements ne naissent pas du vide. Ils naissent d'un système qui étouffe ces jeunes sous la pression scolaire, professionnelle et sociale. Le problème n'est pas chimique, il est humain. À chaque crise, le Japon change la loi, mais les fabricants changent la formule. Une molécule interdite, une autre apparaît. Le cycle recommence. Les autorités interdisent, les créateurs de liquides innovent et Internet sert de terrain de jeu. L'Etomidate sera interdit. Un autre composant prendra sa place dans 3 mois. Et les zombies cigarettes seront simplement changés de nom. Le Japon mène une guerre qu'il ne peut pas gagner, parce qu'il combat la conséquence, pas la cause. Ce qui se joue ici dépasse les vapes. C'est une peur culturelle du corps et du désordre. Le Japon valorise la maîtrise, la retenue, la propreté. Tout ce qui échappe au contrôle est perçu comme une menace. Mais à force de refuser le désordre, on finit par le provoquer. Les zombies cigarettes ne sont pas une importation étrangère. Elles sont le produit d'un système qui ne laisse aucune place à la perte de contrôle. Et comme la société ne permet pas de parler ouvertement d'évasion ou de bien-être, cette recherche d'échappatoire finit par passer par la technologie et la clandestinité. Certains experts estiment que le Japon pourrait devenir le premier pays industrialisé à interdire complètement la vape. Pour les politiciens, ce serait une victoire morale. Pour les entreprises et les utilisateurs responsables, ce serait une absurdité. Punir un outil à cause d'un abus, c'est comme interdire les voitures parce qu'il existe des excès de vitesse. Mais la politique japonaise n'est pas pragmatique, elle est puriste. Et dans un état où la réputation compte plus que la liberté, il vaut mieux interdire que tolérer. Cette histoire révèle une fracture générationnelle. Les jeunes japonais ne veulent pas défier la loi, ils veulent respirer.
It's a great video.
Leur société leur promet stabilité, pas d'espace
Shout
pour
out
vivre autrement.
Crows
Les
with a
zombies
K
cigarettes
and a
deviennent alors
zero.
un symbole. Celui d'une génération qui ne peut plus simplement obéir, mais ressentir quelque chose. Même pour quelques minutes. C'est tragique, mais c'est logique. Quand on ne peut pas parler de mal-être, on finit par l'exprimer autrement. Dans 6 mois, un autre produit prendra la place. Un autre nom, une autre formule, une autre panique. Les médias feront la une, le gouvernement interdira, et la roue tournera encore. Parce que tant que la société japonaise refusera d'aborder le besoin d'évasion, elle continuera de produire ses propres fantômes. Les zombies cigarettes ne sont pas une menace isolée, elles sont un miroir, celui d'un pays qui préfère bannir le symptôme plutôt que soigner la cause. Les vidéos virales finiront par disparaître, les hashtags aussi, mais le malaise restera. Tokyo continuera de briller, les lois se durciront, et quelque part, dans une chambre de banlieue, un jeune japonais cherchera encore une nouvelle manière d'échapper à la réalité, sans savoir que c'est justement cette réalité qui le rend malade. Les zombies cigarettes, au fond, ne parlent pas de produits ni de mode, elles parlent d'un pays incapable d'admettre qu'il a besoin de respirer. Et tant que ce souffle sera interdit, le Japon continuera d'inventer encore et encore de nouvelles façons de s'oublier. Mata Kondo.
Do a video? Do a video? It'll work, no? Shit. Alright, let's see. Got like 7 more? There's only one more long one I want to say.
Japan has a new problem. Day by day,
That's still
Japan's
the English
social
one.
problems seem to be only getting worse. For decades, Japan has struggled with hikikomori, people who shut themselves away from society by refusing
What
to
the fuck is
leave
he
their
even doing?
rooms. Many of them suffering from mental health issues. On top of this, recently, things have gotten even darker, with more and more runaway kids gathering in the streets of Shinjuku, where they often end up abused. And now, things have turned even worse, as Japan is facing a crisis unlike anything it has ever seen before. Historically, Japan
What was that? Hold up.
ever seen before.
I don't know if we'll put actual videos. Niggas tweaking.
Historically, Japan has been seen as one of the safest and
Buddy,
strictest
hold up. Buddy is tweaking. I can't believe this.
crisis unlike anything it has ever seen before.
Buddy is tweaking, bro. Off his shit, bro.
Historically,
That's
Japan
crazy.
has been seen as one of the safest and strictest countries in the world when it comes to substances. But now, a new drug is spreading across the country that threatens to change everything. This drug is called Etomidate, better known in Japan as zombie tobacco. Etomidate is a medical anesthetic that has been used, for example, as a sedative during executions in the US, and now it is being used recreationally by young people in Japan. The name zombie tobacco is a slang term for this synthetic drug that comes from the visible and erratic zombie-like movements that its users often suffer from after smoking it. The tobacco part of the name comes from the fact that in Japan, it's sold under a clever disguise as a regular vape product, which contributes to the misconception that it's safer than traditional illegal drugs. Japan has this problem where alcohol and cigarettes are accepted as part of everyday life, but all drugs are so demonized, there's no real understanding which substances are mild and which can be actually really dangerous. So when something like zombie tobacco comes along, many Japanese are unable to grasp how serious it actually is because they see it as just another tobacco product and assume it can't be that harmful because to them, cigarettes and drugs are
pretty
completely
important.
different things altogether. Many of them have also been taught to lump all drugs together as equally bad without nuance, which has caused many people to severely underestimate how lethal a synthetic substance like this can actually be. What doesn't help this is the fact that recently in Japan there has been this revolving door of fake weed products, as different CBD variants have been getting banned one after another, which has made many young people to think that every new vape trend is just another harmless or mild gimmick, which couldn't be further from the truth. When someone inhales zombie tobacco through a vape, the Etomidate inside hits almost instantly, shutting down the central nervous system. This might at first give a short burst of euphoria or a floating sensation, but soon after, the effects turn into something far more dangerous. A signature effect is the zombie-like movement that people get once their muscles start to spasm from the Etomidate shutting down the connection between the muscles and the brain. One 20-year-old Okinawan woman who was taken to the hospital for hitting her head after inhaling the drug described the feeling afterwards as dying like an insect being sprayed by pesticide. Since Etomidate is an anesthetic, not only does it make you lose control of your body, but it also makes you lose control of your mind, as smoking it causes people to go into a semi-conscious state, making them further seem zombie-like, which is why the nickname for this drug is actually painfully accurate. But why anyone would actually even consider smoking this is beyond my understanding. What makes this zombie tobacco so dangerous and comparable to fentanyl is its potential for overdosing. Inhaling too much Etomidate can cause respiratory depression in people, meaning it can cause breathing to slow down or even stop entirely, leading to critically reduced oxygen levels, which can cause brain damage or even death. Zombie tobacco, aka Etomidate, has recently been made illegal in Japan. However, it hasn't stopped the widespread use, as each month hundreds of young people are caught with the drug in Okinawa alone, which some experts say is being targeted by criminal organizations as a gateway for the substance to come to Japan due to its close proximity to China. While the Chinese criminal organizations working together with the local Yakuza have been able to get the compound to mainland Japan, it hasn't yet taken over the whole country as it has already taken over Okinawa, at least not just yet. But that is only a matter of time, since once the runaway kids of Shinjuku get their hands on this, it will spread like wildfire. Japan has this huge problem where every substance being extremely illegal creates a huge market for all these new synthetic substances that lie in the gray area, many of which are far more dangerous than the notorious devil's lettuce. Now, I'm not saying Japan should necessarily make other substances legal either, but there's probably a middle ground somewhere, because right now it's kind of ridiculous that people are put to jail for life for smoking a joint, while at the same time kids are able to buy synthetic Chinese fentanyl online just because it has the word tobacco written on it. Even though the zombie tobacco itself has now been made illegal, that doesn't actually solve the bigger problem. Since in Japan, every time a synthetic compound gets banned, another one quickly appears to take its place. This revolving door means that even if Etomidate fades out, it's only a matter of time until the next zombie tobacco shows up, which more than likely will be worse than the last. Many young people in Japan, especially the Toyoko runaway kids of Shinjuku, are known to use and abuse any legal or gray area high they can. As only a year ago, there was a huge problem of young people abusing sleep medication that turned their tongue blue just because it was the only legal high they could get their hands on. Most of these people are also very young, such as this 15-year-old girl filmed here, telling the news how she was kicked out of the house and now spends her days in Shinjuku abusing synthetic substances she gets from the people around her. Overdosing on these sleeping pills was popular for a while, and many kids even proudly kept their mouths blue for other people to see, as it was sort of a status symbol to be abusing them. Once hospitals in Tokyo had a spike in teenagers overdosing on these medications, and the streets of Shinjuku were filled with young people stumbling and collapsing on the street, the government finally decided to do something about it and made the medication slightly harder to buy, but didn't outright ban it, which is why even today the abuse continues. And this was just one of the many cases of Japanese kids abusing a gray area substance, as there have been many before, and Etomidate seems to be the next in line. At the end of the day, this zombie tobacco problem isn't just about one dangerous new drug, it's a systematic societal issue. The fact is that Japan's youth is struggling. Many people escape to their rooms becoming hikikomoris, while others run away from home. And all the Japan's strict drug laws seem to be doing is inadvertently pushing them towards more dangerous synthetic substances instead of helping them fix their lives. Right now, the thing I'm most worried about isn't the zombie tobacco itself, but the fact that some people in Japan are suffering so much they're willing to risk their lives and do something this stupid and dangerous just to be able to escape for a brief moment. The question the government should be asking isn't what the kids are using, it should be why the kids are using.
It was pretty good. A little bit, diversion with the history, but it was pretty good. And just getting some actual clips with this one, which is very nice. He just must have really researched the news sources Japan has been noting on this. So shouts out to this one. This one was a good one from Paahtis, Paahtis. Shouts out to him. Most of the videos were shown in China. Okay. Alright. Alright, validity of this questionable. Maybe not shouts out this dude. Some people are calling him out actually. See, we've been fucking shit. Alright, fuck that. I didn't even notice we got rankings.
You're good at this.
Oh shit. Whatever. Sure.
Reflect and repent. Reflect and repent. I like where you're going with this.
What's all this fuss about?
Everyone's gunning for you. Watch out.
Couldn't get all the gold off. Most of the important stuff. Alright, next. Alright, let's do.
です。ゾンビタバコ、皆さんご存知でしょうか。 今ニュースだったりとかで騒が
It's
れて
from
い
an
る
actual
ゾンビタバコ
doctor.
ですね。日本でも沖縄でゾンビタバコというのが蔓延して、それによる中毒者
Actual
が増え
PSA.
ているという
Cool to
ふうに
see.
報道されています。ワイドショーのニュースの映像とかって見たことありますか？本当にゾンビのように見えるような、そういうような症状が出るのがゾンビタバコなんですけれども、ちょっと今回はそれについて医師目線で解説したいと思います。まずゾンビタバコは何かっていうと、これは電子タバコにエトミデートっていう麻酔薬ですね。麻酔で使われるような医薬品の成分をリキッドで混ぜて吸うことによって、それを体内に吸入で入れると。そうすると意識が朦朧としたりとか、手足が硬直する、痙攣が出る、あとは吐き気が出る、呼吸数が減少する、抑制させる、そういうような症状が出るんです。それを吸った人がこう歩いてる様がゾンビのように見えるからゾンビタバコっていう風に言われるんですね。僕もね、ゾンビ映画だったりとかゾンビドラマ好きでよく見ますけれども、本当にそれみたいな感じで、しかもそれが日本で出ているという、摘発もされてるっていうね、本当に今危険な事態になっているんです。まずこのエトミデートっていうのが何かっていうのを簡単に解説したいと思います。このエトミデートっていうのは、さっきも言ったみたいに静脈麻酔
Let's all just calm down for a minute.
麻酔薬ですね。これは脳の GABA-A 受容体っていうところに作用します。この GABA っていうのはチョコレートとかでね、 GABA っていう単語は皆さん知ってる方もいるかもしれないんですけれども、この GABA っていうのはどっちかっていうと抑制系のものですね。なので興奮を抑えると。
Wanna see this? You gotta slay these fools. There's no way we're losing, bro. No way. Bro. This is fucked. I can't believe that.
とか、その神経の活動を抑制させる方向に持っていくようなものが GABA です。でこのエトミデートっていうのはその GABA 受容体、正確には GABA-A 受容体っていうのに作用して、
Fuck. That was tough. That was tough, man.
その抑制系っていうのを強めるわけです。で、このエトミデートっていう成分は日本では医薬品として承認されておりません。なので日本で出回ること自体っていうのがおかしなことなんです。当然病院にも置いてないはずですし、販売っていうのもできません。で、日本では未承認なんですけれども、海外ではこれを静脈麻酔として使っているところもあります。アメリカだったりとかヨーロッパの方ですね。でもちろんこれは麻酔薬として使うので、ちゃんと医師の管理でモニタリングもちゃんとしてもう適切な状態でやるっていうようなものです。この麻酔としては静脈麻酔をして数秒ぐらいで眠りに落ちて、で数十分ぐらいで覚醒するっていう、こう効果の切れ味もいいし冷めやすいっていう結構使い勝手はいいやつみたいなんですけれども、それがねこう危険ドラッグとしてもちろん使うっていうのは命に関わることですし、絶対にあってはならないことです。で、このいわゆるゾンビタバコですけれども、2023年ぐらいになんか中国の方ですごい流行になったらしくて、それもなんか中国の方でも合法的みたいなそういう歌い文句とかでなんかすごい流行って、そういうゾンビみたいな感じのそういう症状が出てる人っていうのが多発して、で2024年になると、香港だったりとか、台湾だったりとかそういうところで、そういう中毒者っていうのが出て、2025年に日本に入ってきてしまった。そして
Huge.
Doing great out there.
Lock the fuck in, huh?
沖縄で流行った
This is
そう
a
い
great
う経緯なんですね。で実際に日本でも2025年の5月に厚生労働省がこれを危険ドラッグ指定薬物っていうのに規制して、ちゃんとそういう規制を始めてるという感じなんですね。でこれがなぜ流通してるかっていうと、見た目が電子タバコやベイプそういったものと一緒ですので判断がつかないらしいんです。なのでなんとなく電子タバコっぽい見た目だからなんかいいのかなとかって思ってこう若者が吸ったりしてそういう症状
Good shit.
歩が出るとか、なんとなくその危険な感じっていうのが見た目によって減ってるっていうのが1個あるらしいです。でさらにそのなんか甘い香り、ライチだったりとか紅茶だったりとか、なんかそういう甘い香りを混ぜることによってなんかもうこうまろやかにしてるというか、その危険さを少し下げてるみたいな、そういうのもあるらしいんですね。あとはやっぱり SNS、インスタグラム、テレグラム、WeChat とか、なんかそういうのでなんか個人間で売買したりとかして流通してるみたいな、そういうのもあるらしいです。でこれはやっぱり今時の若者っていうのは、僕らとかもっと上の世代に比べて、例えばその SNS で何かこう品物とかを売買するのっていうのに抵抗っていうのがやっぱり少ないと思うんですね。で別にそれが悪いっていうわけじゃないんですけれども、上の世代とかだとその見ず知らずの人からネットだけで買うってやっぱりちょっと抵抗あったりしますけれども、そういうのがなかったりするので、それでこう流通してしまうみたいな、そういうのがあるみたいです。あとはクラブだったりとかね、そういう繁華街とかで、対面でこう売買したりとか、そういうのでこう流通されてるっていうらしいですね。やっぱり一番問題なのは見た目で判断できないことというところだと思います。なので見た目が電子タバコと全く一緒だとしても、そういう危険ドラッグっていうのは絶対に手を出さないでください。でさらに問題として依存と経済的困窮っていうのがあります。こういうのってね、どんどんこう吸ったりとかすると依存っていうのが出てきて、どうしても吸いたくなってしまうっていう、そういう症状が出てしまうんですけれども、吸いたいと思って買おうと思っても薬代がないわけですよ。でこういうのって安くないと思いますので、なのでこれを買うために自分も密売してしまうとか、あとは窃盗とか売春をしてしまうみたいな、そういうこう負の循環、悪循環っていうのが広がっていって、それでより流通してしまうみたいな、本当に悪い流れになってしまうんです。でさらにこのゾンビタバコっていうのはその売り文句として合法的ですとか、あとは正気麻酔ですみたいな、そういう売り文句で言われるらしいです。で正気麻酔っていうのはこれはまた全然
How's that a marketing point?
You're good at this. Exactly what you were looking for.
Holy shit. Just in case we don't make it.
別の物質ですので、このエトミデートっていうのは全く違うものです。だからなんか正気麻酔とかだとね、なんか美容クリニックとかで使ったりとかっていうのもあって、それならいいのかなみたいな、ちょっと軽く見えるというか、なのでそういうので広がったりするので、皆さん絶対に手は出さないでください。なので周りに使ってる人とか、怪しい人とかがもしいたら、これはもちろん注意しなきゃいけないし、もちろん場合によっては警察に通報するっていうのが大事だと思います。繰り返しますけれども、これは危険ドラッグですので、使うことによって本当に呼吸抑制とかがあって最悪死に至るという可能性もあり得るものです。なので皆さん絶対に手を出さないでください。買わない、使わない、関わらない、これを徹底してください。やっぱり依存で言うと、そういう危険ドラッグに手を出すんだったら断然ヘイヘイドクターに手を出してください。ヘイヘイドクター依存性あって中毒性もあります。でも笑えて体に悪くないどころか健康になります。 こういうお笑いを見ることによってもっと心身を健康にするっていう方が
Work.
全然いい、まあ当たり前ですけれども、もう全然いいですので、もっといろんなね芸人さんのネタを見たりとか、まあ、そういうのを僕はおすすめしたいと思います。ヘイヘイドクター歌って踊って、これだったらもうどんどん依存してもらって大丈夫ですので、もっと僕のネタをたくさん見てください。ということで今回はゾンビタバコの危険性について簡単にお話しさせていただきました。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録よろしくお願いいたします。それではまた次回、せーの、動画を見ていただいてありがとうございます。ちょっとでもいいなというふうに思ったらぜひともチャンネル登録してください。
What the fuck? Hold up. I'm just looking like. Yeah, I guess I'll sub to this dude. What a fucking channel. Alright. Let's see. Oh shit. We got like an hour, not even left of videos. We'll do another one that's laughing gas.
障害や手足のしびれなどの症状が見られる。 琉球新報は那覇市内の飲食店でエトミデートをし、ぼんやり含む未成年者が汚染が
they blur it all out like it's, you know, P, bro. Like, it's Japan, bro. Like, it's kind of crazy, but I guess, you know, it's just privacy too, which is nice, so. This one by Aswin. Alright, let's not get distracted. Alright. So.
마약 성분이 포함된
There's another one. Korean.
이른바 좀비 담배가 일본 오키나와에서 퍼지고 있다는 보도가 나왔습니다. 한국인 가족 단위 관광객이 많이 찾는 지역이라 우려가 커지고 있습니다. 21일 일본 ANN 뉴스에 따르면 최근 오키나와에서 좀비 담배를 소지하거나 사용하다 적발돼 체포되는 사례가 늘고 있습니다. 좀비 담배는 병원에서 전신 마취제로 쓰이는 에토미데이트 성분이 들어간 불법 전자담배로 오남용 시 의식불명, 저혈압, 구토 등 심각한 부작용을 유발할 수 있습니다. 중국 소셜미디어에도 해당 전자담배를 흡입한 뒤 길바닥에 쓰러져 소리를 지르거나 지하철 안에서 몸을 제대로 가누지 못하는 모습의 영상이 잇따라 올라오고 있습니다. 좀비 담배는 최근 중국과 태국, 홍콩, 싱가포르 등에서 10, 20대 청년층을 중심으로 확산세가 뚜렷합니다. 일본 정부는 지난 5월 에토미데이트를 불법 약물로 지정했지만 최근 오키나와를 통해 밀반입되는 정황이 포착되고 있다고 TV아사히는 보도했습니다. 오키나와현 당국은 미승인 의약품 성분이 포함된 위험한 전자담배라며 각별한 주의를 당부했습니다.
Very baseline report, fuck it. Alright, this one, the blue cats. It's interesting.
This footage taken in Pongo went viral. No, these youngsters haven't been bitten by zombies. Watch on to find out what really happened to them. Why this is becoming much more serious.
This is good so far.
Also, on 24 June at 1 AM in Pongo, these youth were seen walking like zombies. It was then rumored that they had been smoking what is known as zombie vapes, also called K-pops, vape products laced with Etomidate, an anesthetic agent. Later, I'll explain what those are. But if this is your first time hearing about K-pops, you're not alone, because this has indeed become much more serious recently.
Dude, the zombies.
Back in 2024, for the entire year, the Health Authority of Singapore detected just 10 cases of K-pop use. This year, as of 30 June, they have already detected 28 cases. This means more people have been caught with this product, and that's why you have been reading more about it. Recently, even more products about K-pops have surfaced. One shocked the nation where it was reported that a 13-year-old behaved strangely while openly vaping outside the state courts, almost like on drugs.
Oh,
in July,
no.
a heartbreaking article reported the death of a 19-year-old teenager.
Hold up, bro. Vaping outside the courthouse, bro. On the K-Pause. Can you believe this?
due to K-pop use. The teenager had told her
Wait,
father that
father,
reported the death
19
of a 19-year-old teenager due to K-pop use. The teenager had told her
death.
father that K-pops were safe, which, by the way, they are not. After using K-pops, the teenager began behaving oddly. One day, she was found after falling from the 18th floor of
Damn,
an
there
HDB
is a
block,
death.
likely due to the
Okay.
effects of K-pops. In another incident, a
Wait,
56-year-old
is that
mother
a fall? Oh, okay. Yeah, she was okay. I want to see a death from the actual substance. We have yet to see that.
floor
Let's keep
of an
it going.
HDB block, likely due to the effects of K-pops. In another incident, a 56-year-old mother had to physically stop her son from jumping out of a window after he likely got high from inhaling K-pops. There are even more cases, like a 19-year-old teenager cutting his own face and arms with a knife. So, why do people do this when they are having K-pops? If you are looking to advertise your business in this channel, we can help you. There are guaranteed views and many
Hell no, throwing in this random ad. Fuck this video now.
emphasize again, vapes are illegal in
Oh
Singapore.
no, boy.
They are very, very harmful to your body. Avoid them at all costs. Don't even get close. Just treat them like drugs, because in the eyes of the law, both are illegal ma. But what exactly are K-pops? You see, vapes are unhealthy and dangerous. And just like cigarettes, their harmful effects might not appear right away. But make no mistakes, these effects will come back to bite you for sure. So don't ever think that it is safe. However, K-pops might actually kill you on the spot. And I'm being serious. Vape juice can contain anything. And let's be honest, no one really reads the ingredients of them, even if a list is provided. That is when it can be dangerous, because it can be anything, since it cannot be regulated as it is already illegal in the first place. K-pops are basically vapes mixed with dangerous chemicals like Etomidate. Etomidate is a powerful drug used in hospitals to sedate patients during procedures. If you have seen videos of people acting weirdly after being sedated, you know why this drug can be dangerous when misused. Even in the controlled medical settings with professionals, people can still behave strangely after being sedated. So what do you expect when the teenager is just vaping uncontrollably at one go? As you probably know by now, when someone vapes a K-pop, they might act erratically, almost like a zombie, and in severe cases, they might even take their own lives without realizing it. What makes it worse is that the user might not even know that the vape juice contains these chemicals. And it's not just Etomidate. The danger is that vape could be laced with other dangerous substances too. The reason why you have been hearing about K-pops and Etomidate more is because this issue is quite specific to
We should have
Singapore.
fucking
In
won
Hong Kong,
that.
they
What
face
the
the same
hell?
problem, but they call it space oil instead. In Malaysia, vapes might contain other harmful ingredients, but make no mistakes. The danger of harmful substances being laced in vapes is a worldwide problem, but the use of Etomidate is now more pronounced in Singapore and Hong Kong. And here's why it gets trickier. If there are actual drugs inside the vape, that is clear cut. Anyone using it is a drug abuser, and anyone selling it is a drug trafficker. And we all know how strict Singapore is about drugs. But here's the catch. If you go by the letter of the law, K-pops do not technically fall under the category of controlled drugs. You'll be breaking the law because you are using vapes, but you won't get the harsh penalties meant for drug traffickers. That's why recently, the government announced that they are looking into strengthening the law on this. They also say that they are working on enforcement, targeting three main areas: monitoring online activity and known hotspots, disrupting supply chains, and taking actions against those who supply or use vapes. They have also stepped up operations to curb vaping, and you can probably tell about that, given how often rapes have been reported lately. Meanwhile, experts have also called for stricter actions against K-pops or any vapes containing illegal chemicals. After all, substances like Etomidate have not just been banned outright, they are still used in hospitals for medical procedures. But here's the scary part. This could all be due to evil people out there trying to profit off Singapore at our expense. The whole K-pop issue is the work of syndicates and organized crime groups targeting East and Southeast Asia's country, especially after their usual drug supply chains got disrupted. Now, do you know that this problem also exists for inhalers like this? Yes, the danger that harmful chemicals might be in these inhalers is real too. Watch this to know more about it. Also, please follow me on Instagram, as I'm posting exclusive short and informative videos there, link in description. And thank you for spending almost 5 minutes with me. I really appreciate it and hope you learned something.
No, it was alright. I mean, not a good youth. It was quick. Just looking at some of these comments.
Keep up the momentum, friend.
Alright. We got the long video to wrap it up. 45 minutes.
A new danger is seeping through Southeast Asia.
So saya pun ambil satu puff. Selepas saya ambil puff tu, kepala saya jadi pening.
E-cigarettes or vapes laced with deadly drugs, indistinguishable from normal vapes.
They are moving to involve in drugs and substance that can actually harmful for their health.
We cannot identify those who are vaping, normal vape and drug-induced vape.
Where do these drug-laced vapes, sometimes known as K-pods, come from?
Organized crime groups would have access to substances in the source countries.
Saya jual guna jarum suntik. Saya lekatkan tempat flavor botol flavor tu. Saya buat titik.
And how did drug-laced vapes take over Southeast Asia?
This is a ticking time bomb.
Waktu tu saya tengah kerja malam kan. Dia kerja sampai malam pukul 11 malam. Waktu tu saya ada dua orang kawan ni. Dua orang kawan ni memang saya selalulah kerja malam kan. Dia kerja sampai malam pukul 11 malam. Waktu tu saya ada dua orang kawan ni. Dua orang kawan ni memang saya selalulah sembang dengan diorang selalu kalau kat tempat kerja kan. Diorang tarik-tarik saya, diorang suruh saya try nano stick kat tangan diorang. Diorang kata tu flavor strawberry.
It began with what seemed
They
like
bogus.
a harmless
Just try this vape,
for
bro.
19-year-old student Ahmad to try vaping.
19, whatever.
Vape
Still.
or e-cigarette devices are small and discreet, often resembling pens or USB drives. They work by heating a liquid known as e-liquid or vape juice into a flavored vapor that is then inhaled. Like cigarettes, they contain nicotine.
Saya cakap lah saya tak nak sebab saya tak isap kan. And then diorang still tarik-tarik saya paksa-paksa. Saya pun waktu tu macam nak cepat sebab dah pukul 11 kan. Sebab saya nak kejar LRT. So saya pun ambil lah satu puff.
In just a decade, vaping use has exploded globally. One 2021 research paper estimated the number of vape users to be 82 million worldwide,
Insane.
with over 14 million in Southeast Asia. The number now is likely to be higher. In the
Most
region,
definitely.
Indonesia and Malaysia, where vaping is legal, are the two largest markets for e-cigarettes. In Malaysia, users increased about sevenfold from 2011 to 2023. Vape sales are banned in some states like Johor, but most other states still allow it.
We are constitutionally killing our people by allowing cigarettes to the people.
One of the loudest voices calling for a ban belongs to Yuniswaran Ramaraj, the Member of Parliament for the district of Segamat in the state of Johor.
Vaping is actually they are created as a substitute for cigarettes, but eventually it become some social activities. Vaping is like casual things, you know, vaping culture and all these things. You know, people have been influenced.
Vapes were first sold as a cleaner, cheaper alternative to cigarettes. But with their fun, sleek designs and varied flavors, these smoking devices took on a cool and trendy image, popular with the young. People aged 18 to 24 were most likely to use these e-cigarettes compared to other age groups. And in Malaysia, the vape industry is a billion ringgit empire.
When I first pushed to ban this, there's a lot of lobbyists came and see me. A lot of the business people came and approached me. You know, they've been trying to justify behind this vaping. There is a big industry of business. Now they also have a small amount of tax contributions. But for me, health comes first.
But now, something more dangerous has infiltrated vape culture. What Ahmad smoked on that fateful day, under peer pressure, may not have been a typical e-cigarette. He now suspects that it contained something more pernicious.
Saya waktu ambil first pump tu, saya tak sedar lah. Saya tak tahulah tu benda apa kan. Sebab dia rasa dia, sebab saya tak pernah hisap vape. So rasa dia time tu, dia rasa macam rasa hangit.
Minutes later, just as he was about to head home, Ahmad began to feel uneasy.
Dia rasa nauseous sangat. And then, pening tu saya ingatkan pening biasa lah kan. Lepas tu tiba-tiba saya jalan-jalan tu makin pening, makin rasa sakit lah kepala ni. Ada tempat duduk kat situ. Saya duduk, saya still tak boleh nak ni. Saya tak boleh nampak. Saya nampak tapi dia rasa pecah. Lepas tu saya sampai kena minta tolong orang yang ada kat sekitar sebab time tu ada ramai lagi pekerja lain kan. Saya kena minta tolong. Saya rasa pening. Lepas tu diorang tengok mata saya ingat diorang kata mata saya nampak merah. Saya hide diorang kata.
Mami, hell
Masa
no.
tu dalam pukul 11 lebih tu dia call. Dia cakap, Mama tolong Ehsan. Dia cakap dalam keadaan tu saya pun jadi macam panik. Kenapa? Saya ingat dia kena rompak ke apa. Lepas tu dia cakap tak. Dia kata kepala dia. Saya dah syak dah. Dia ni macam kena ni benda tu kan. Lepas tu saya siap-siap.
Better hire a recruit while you can.
Saya cakap tak apa, tunggu. Saya pesan kat dia jangan pergi mana-mana, tunggu minta tolong orang terdekat kat situ kan. Saya terus pergi ke tempat kejadian lah, kat tempat kerja dia tu.
Pekerja-pekerja kat sekitar tu semua macam tolong saya lah. Diorang angkat saya, diorang kata kenapa ni, siapa bagi apa. Lepas tu saya cakap lah diorang bagi saya vape. Lepas tu diorang kata dah.
Ahmad's mother came and brought him home, where he eventually recovered. He now suspects that what he was offered was something commonly known as a K-pod. These are vape pods laced with illicit drugs. The K initially stood for ketamine, one of the drugs used to spike the pods. The term K-pod has since expanded to refer to any vape pod adulterated with illicit substances.
Vaping has gone out of its
I mean, it's
focus where they are
Etomidate.
moving
Come
to
on. It's
involve
Etomidate.
drugs
Y'all gotta rock it a little
and
more.
substance that can actually harmful for their health. So these are actually quite very dangerous. You see, to access or to purchase or to buy drugs, people are very scared. But now this is very upfrontly selling everywhere. Not only in Malaysia, but it's cross borders everywhere.
K-pods have become a growing problem all across Southeast Asia. Even in countries like Singapore and Thailand, where vaping is illegal, there is an alarming rise in K-pod use. In Malaysia, Dr. Surya Khatun Osman has seen a surge of patients walking into her clinic seeking help for the effects of vaping.
Fuck, I should
She's
have
a
made it
medical
gold.
doctor
I'm whacking.
and homeopathic physician. Her vaping patients typically complain of dizziness, headaches, and blackouts.
Among the things that have been found in these K-pods is that anesthetics like ketamine, Etomidate, and then artificial cannabinoids, among other things.
Ketamine is a powerful horse tranquilizer, while Etomidate is a short-acting intravenous anesthetic used in hospitals for sedation. Both drugs deliver a high when inhaled through vape pods. Other drugs common in K-pods include methamphetamine and cannabis derivatives.
When you inhale, you feel good. And of course, it can also cause euphoria. And other than that, there are other more serious side effects. Definitely, it will make you feel like a zombie because anesthetic makes you numb. Other than that, you have hallucinations. It can affect the heart. You can go into shock. You can become hysterical. But with a higher dose, you can even go to acute poisoning, whereby your heart can stop.
Kawan kerja, kawan sekolah yang tu saya pernah lah nampak. So first tu diorang akan rasa macam sakit lah macam saya kan. Tapi bila diorang dah ambil berkali-kali tu mungkin diorang akan jadi addicted.
In Malaysia, the Health Ministry revealed that over 65% of all vape liquids seized in 2023 and 2024 contained dangerous drugs.
They're just preying on Malaysia. Like, it's great. MDMA-laced vapes. That's
Substance
what it
abuse
said.
came in. But somebody must have seen a way that can make a lot of profit, and jump onto the profit bandwagon. Authorities were already searching for all the other pills. So this one, the authorities also didn't know about it. So it's a good time to make money while the sun shines, right? So this is how it came into the market.
What makes K-pods particularly insidious is that outwardly, they're indistinguishable from regular vape liquids.
The problem here now is that there are vape shops everywhere. So when something is present out in the public, anybody can walk in. Don't you think that people think that it is legit? There is no red flag saying this is illegal, you can't this and that. And then how can you tell between a K-pod laced with drugs and a K-pod only with nicotine and all that? You can't. But the root of the matter is that there has been not enough regulation over the vape itself.
This is our challenges. We cannot identify those who are vaping, normal vape and drug-induced vape. It's a big challenge to us.
Who are these groups turning vapes into poisonous vessels for profit? And how are they doing it?
Very carefully.
Everybody now in Malaysia, they talk about mushroom. Mushroom is very famous.
In Malaysia, mushroom is the slang term for vape pods laced with drugs.
Oh, is it? What the fuck?
Usually earn extra money by selling the drugs.
Subanao works for the Consumers Association of Penang. Part of his job at the Consumer Watchdog is to expose unsafe products, including drug-laced vape pods.
They can put in drugs inside here. There's a small hole. You just need needle. Just inject any type of drugs. But usually they put 1 or 2 drops and they shake and they put inside into their vape.
This is a process that 25-year-old Muhammad Shafiq has performed many times.
Saya jual guna jarum suntik. Saya lekatkan depan botol flavor tu. Saya buat titik. Dia ada sukatan dia.
Shafiq worked at a food stand where he sold burgers for 3 ringgit 50 cent each. Like many Malaysians his age, Shafiq vaped. But a few years ago, he discovered K-pods and a way to supplement his income.
Saya bermula daripada umur 20 tahun. Dalam setengah tahun ada, 6 bulan macam tu. Saya tengisap je. Lepas tu lama-lama kawan saya cakap, kau ambil lah banyak. Kau dapat untung, dapat backup duit kau. Kawan saya bagi nombor, saya check dalam Telegram. Dia bagi saya nombor owner yang jual mushroom ni lah. Saya pun mesej dia, dia masukkan saya dalam grup Telegram untuk berkomunikasi dengan dia orang lah.
Encrypted apps like Telegram are the preferred platform for pushers to procure and resell drugs. Such messaging services allow for anonymity and privacy. Phone numbers can be hidden on such apps, making it difficult for authorities to trace sellers.
Sekali saya beli RM800. Lepas tu saya jual guna satu titik RM1. Sambil-sambil saya meniaga burger tu, saya jual mushroom ni dekat kawan-kawan lah. Kawan-kawan tempat orang lepak, dia orang suka lepak kedai burger kan. Saya bagi dia orang try dulu lah, free dulu. Dah lama-lama dia orang dah macam saya dulu, saya pun jual lah, ada harga dah lah.
The online marketplace is playing a much larger role in getting access to some of these substances. And that is really a trend that we've seen over the past few years develop, that drug trafficking networks have really started to target online marketplaces, online forums to sell their substances to customers, but also to intermediaries who would order things in bulk and then sell them on the street. And that really reflects this kind of shift in the drug market that came with these newer substances that made the entire drug business more complicated.
But
Let's
where
see if he can do
the
work like
drugs
we
come
are.
from in the first place? Some of the common narcotics found in K-pods, like ketamine, methamphetamine, and Etomidate,
What is
are
this?
synthetic drugs. This means
This
they are made
sucks.
using chemicals rather than derived from plants like opium.
So these substances come from different parts of the region. If it's methamphetamine, most of it is produced in the Golden Triangle area. But a lot of the other
This is
newer
good, but
substances
it's
come
more
from a
general
more diverse
video,
background.
not so
Many of them are sourced
specific
from places like China, but also other countries in the region.
Even before the popularity of K-pods, Southeast Asia has been a hotbed for synthetic drugs. The Golden Triangle spans Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand. According to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, this area is the world's largest producer of meth.
We're really looking at regional drug trafficking networks. These newer substances is diversification of the drug trade into these kind of vaping devices. It's really an offshoot of the broader regional drug economy.
The drugs eventually make their way down the supply chain to individual sellers like Shafiq, who would hawk them as K-pods online.
Oh, I should have.
The
Fuck.
diffused nature of the
Fucking
smuggling
up.
network makes cracking down on drug-laced vapes challenging.
With the advance in technology, it's not like those days you need a bigger group as a syndicate that involved in the broader spectrum of drug trafficking. Now, individuals or small group of people able to buy online. So it's like the seller don't know who is the buyer and the buyer don't know who is the seller.
Okey, ni contoh dadah yang diiklan dalam Facebook. Nombor telefon semua ada.
In Malaysia, Muhammad Nizam spends his spare time tracking and exposing those involved in the trade of drug-laced vapes.
Tuan-tuan boleh contact, terus dapat je dadah. Order, dia macam kat sini tu jual, boleh WhatsApp dia.
Online, Nizam and his team have exposed both bulk suppliers of synthetic chemicals and those who sell laced pods and cartridges preloaded with drug cocktails.
Dia post, diorang tak akan ada pertemuan one-to-one lah, nak mengelakkan tangkapan. And then kalau kita tengok rekod-rekod tangkapan pun daripada pihak polis sendiri, mamal-mamal ni semua betul-betul mamal dadah, bukan daripada syarikat-syarikat vape yang berdaftar dalam Malaysia lah. Itu bahaya tu. Boleh dedah kan? Saya seronok je.
When Nizam finds such sellers, he reports them to the authorities. Nizam has a vested interest in stamping out K-pods. He previously owned a vape shop, and now is a distributor of vape products. He is also the president of the Malaysia E-Vaporizers and Tobacco Alternative Association. K-pods, or mushrooms, give his industry a bad name, an industry which is tightly regulated.
Sebelum nak bawa masuk, produk ni perlu didaftarkan dengan pihak Kementerian Kesihatan terlebih dahulu. Bahan merokok ni kena masuk pengujian lab test terlebih dahulu. Selepas diuji selamat mengikut carta yang dibekalkan oleh Kementerian Kesihatan, dah lulus, baru kami hantar ke pihak KKM untuk bayaran fee pendaftaran.
In countries like Malaysia, where vaping is legal, enforcement is made more difficult. Illegal substances could be sold under the cover of legitimate storefronts. Fakrul has worked as a retail associate at a small vape shop in suburban Kuala Lumpur for 5 years. It is a legal business.
So, kita orang jual benda yang boleh sal KKM dengan custom. Ikut diorang punya SOP diorang.
But recently, Fakrul has had to fend off increasing numbers of dealers offering illicit vape liquids for sale at the shop.
Diorang datang offer depan mata saya, dia ada tunjuk jenis botol yang botol 5 ml, yang jenis besar macam botol air pun ada juga. Orang tu offer kat saya dalam 5 ml saja dia orang nak jual dalam 150. Saya bagi contoh daripada segi botol ni. Sekejap. Dia 5 ml saja. Kalau yang 60 ml ni yang dia orang nak offer saya tu, dia orang pun nak jual dalam 800 kalau yang ni. Oh, banyak sangat. Sebab diorang time tu diorang nak offer kat kita orang, tapi kita orang tolak yang benda tu. Sebab satu, akibatkan itulah orang Padang serong kepada kedai vape.
We raided and seized this kind of material in legal shops. It's not like selling openly, saying that,
This
hey, I'm
nigga's
selling
shit sucks, bro.
Used with drugs, but they know each other. So probably this kind of word
You have to carry.
to the friends who are looking for this kind of vape.
That's huge.
Even you go to Penang in the Julia Street, you just take a walk. There are about 8-9 shops are
Huge.
there. Just say, I want a high juice. They will give you.
All this happens in behind the door, in the black markets.
Let's
and
go, we
definitely,
got that.
I think the Malaysian enforcement officers, the police and everyone is working towards it because it's something very alarming matters.
Across the border in Thailand, vaping is outlawed. Though in 2022, cannabis was legalized. Legitimate cannabis operations have reportedly been used as a cover for manufacturing drug-laced vapes.
Someone who owns a business which has people coming and going on a daily basis could, in theory, easily make use of that business to reach the kind of target group that they might be looking at for also selling other type of psychotropic substances. It really represents the sort of the growing complexity of the drug market.
This drug business is an international or borderless activity which involve countries in the northern, like Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, especially things happening in Golden Triangle. Malaysia become a transit country and also consuming country. Because of the large area of the land and also sea, it become easier for them to smuggle in.
In other parts of the ASEAN region, especially countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, who are all seeing similar cases within their jurisdictions. It's not something that is specific to any of the countries really, but that has more to do with the target population and the economy in these countries where people can afford these kind of substances.
In Thailand, K-pods have another name, zombie pods, so named for the state of stupor that users experience. As drug-laced e-cigarettes sweep through Southeast Asia, what are the consequences?
I know, this dude's getting carried. Let's see if we can beat this big team. Alright, this is the wrong one then.
Across Southeast Asia, illicit synthetic
Come
drugs
on,
are
do
turning up
something.
in e-liquids
Get this
and
weak fucking
cartridges.
garbage.
K-pot laced with drugs can cause a kind of inflammation whereby you can't even see
Weak.
on the X-ray.
You know,
But
it's
when
'cause
you
of
do a
you.
biopsy, you can see the inflammation in the lungs. There is inflammation in the alveoli of the lungs. And this one needs treatment with steroids and all that. But if you use again, you will get it again. And it will cause your SpO2, your oxygen level to go down. And when your oxygen level goes down, and then you will be short of breath.
What makes K-pods especially risky is how they're
Alright, what do we get? What do we get? What do we get?
Some are made by individual sellers injecting
It's
chemicals
lost, isn't it?
into vape
It's a
pods
loss.
for
Oh,
operations.
terrible.
This means there may be no control over what or how much drugs are infused into the pods.
And this is pretty baseline. And it's nice to get some visuals, nice to get some quotes of people, you know, surrounding it
3,
though.
4, 5 puffs, one K-pot will contain a lot of doses. So if you are buying it from the underground and black market and all that, and nobody is going to tell you how to use it. So the danger of overdosing is very, very real.
Additionally, the compounds in synthetic drugs are so varied that detection is difficult.
It cannot be detected by the standard drug
We'll
test.
just
You
watch
have
the
the
rest
street
of it
test,
together, I
test
guess.
for opioids and cannabinoids and all that. But for this, it
See
will
what's going
go
on
under the
and
radar.
just like
Unless
chill
you
out
do special
for 20
tests,
minutes.
which are not always available everywhere, and the results may take some time to get across, because this thing is fairly new in the market. So the authorities and the technology to actually detect these cases, and all have not caught up.
Although these
Oh.
substances are synthetic, their effects on users are as real as naturally derived opioids like heroin and cocaine.
After you stop using it, you might go into withdrawal symptoms, or you kind of want some more. One thing that I've seen it in my patient is that they sleep a lot. They sleep and sleep and sleep, and they have craving. And on top of which, their mental, their thinking ability goes haywire, and they might even get psychosis. This is a ticking time bomb. I think that it's only a matter of time before this thing goes out of hand.
What concerns the authorities is the age of K-pod users. A majority are youths, the age group most likely to vape. Children as young as 6 have been caught vaping.
Those who are involved in drugs, the impact is in generation, especially involving youth. They spoil their future, and also they also become a nuisance to the public.
Kalau yang macam 18 tahun ke atas tu, iaitu bagi saya diorang normal lah. Tapi yang ni yang paling saya terkejut lah. Ini budak yang 12 tahun, budak tu bertanya kat saya. Saya pun terkejut juga. Budak bawah umur macam 12 tahun macam tu pun dia boleh tahu tentang
Magic mushrooms.
Dan saya pun tertanya budak tu, mana dia dapat magic mushroom tu. Daripada rakas bayi lah. Macam tu lah.
Bagi saya lah, macam untuk budak sekolah yang bawa vape ataupun rokok ke sekolah ni, dia lebih kepada nak menunjuk kepada kawan-kawan.
this shit all the time now.
Bagi golongan remaja ni, diorang ingat vape atau rokok ni sesuatu yang gempak, sesuatu yang cool.
Since 2019, dozens of Malaysian teenagers have been hospitalized after using drug-laced vape pods. At least 5 deaths linked to vaping have also been reported in Malaysia over the same period.
Some of my patients are as young as primary school. How do they know that something you just inhale and smells nice is dangerous? They might have seen some people, using vape or looking so macho like that. Oh, I want to look macho too. I want to try. But they don't know what's inside. Right?
The issue is that
They're
vapes
stupid,
themselves
bro.
are designed to appeal to
They're
the
not thinking like that.
The juice contain a few hundred types of flavors, fruit flavors, to attract the new
Candy
generation.
house.
Even the 7, 8 years old boy,
Sounds good.
they have coffee, they have chocolate,
Coffees,
they have bubble gum,
chocolate mint.
mint.
Nice.
Actually, they are misleading.
Seen that brand
It's
before.
not fruit flavor.
Ribena.
It's a nicotine, but they just add some kind of
Sure.
flavors there.
Dang dong.
to
Honeydew
attract
pineapple.
this
Boy,
new
we got
vape.
some flavors.
Sweet or soothing flavors mask
vegetable
nicotine's
shit.
natural harshness,
Man, so
making
many
them
different ones.
palatable for newcomers. The bright and aesthetic packaging hide that these are ultimately nicotine products.
Vaping, peach mango,
These are the
mango
very
ice.
attractive way that you can
So many
meet
products, bro.
customers.
It's insane.
And there is some misconception over the use of vapes and e-cigarettes. Because of their lower nicotine content, e-cigarettes are considered less harmful than tobacco cigarettes. Some also use the device to wean off their cigarette smoking. However, vaping has supplanted legal cigarettes as the largest share of Malaysia's nicotine market.
I think everyone out there, including parents, teachers, and students, right, and maybe the community at large, they probably still think vape as an alternative to quit cigarette. What started as very, very harmless have morphed into something that is very, very dangerous, right? Especially when it's now being laced with drugs, toxins. And these are all, I think, information parents, teachers, and community at large, they are still not getting.
Rocket
And even
bunny,
though sale to
dude.
and use
Cranberry,
of vapes
grape,
are
peach
illegal
berry.
to those under 18 in Malaysia,
These are probably all
one
legal
2022
products.
survey showed that almost 15% of those aged 13 to 17 have used vapes.
I have received a lot of complaints
Insane.
from schools, headmasters, and they said my students are taking up, addicted to this, absent from school, and their bag contain of different kinds of vape and so it's
I
uncontrollable.
could just imagine this
Then
shit.
we went in to the
Dirty
school
as
and found
fuck.
out it is a big
That
big
looks like a
problem, you know.
cart.
So until the
It's like a
teachers
few
they
carts,
can't
dude.
control because they don't know what is vape, what is contained.
So I asked this question to
The same
one
shit,
teacher.
what is in it?
I said, do you look for all the vape stuff? The teacher laughed. Frankly speaking, doctor, we have so much things to do trying to teach the students and all that with our timetable, with the exams and all. We don't have time for all these things. Besides which, she says, I don't even know how
It's the
this
problem
thing
with the
looks
system,
like.
I guess.
What's more, the typically sleek design of vapes
so many.
make them discreet.
No
easy
way.
to
How many
hide
times are we gonna
or
say
kids'
that?
eyes.
There's only
Pencil or pocket case.
very limited things school can do among all the other things currently teachers are doing at school,
is
right?
true.
When it comes to vape, it's that fine line between which ministry is actually responsible in driving this. Is it Ministry of Health? Is it the Interior Ministry?
Probably.
Is it Ministry of Education and all that?
Probably
right?
everybody
And unfortunately,
should play a
it's
role, I
only be
think, to
seen
an
as
extent.
more of like a punishment if students are being caught vaping at school. They get suspended or they get expelled from school. And most often than not, I think schools will just dump back the issue and the problem back to the parents.
But for
Yeah.
parents who discover that their children are
So,
hooked
so
on
problem.
K-pods, some may think twice
It's
about
avoiding
seeking help.
responsibility.
Ahmad's mother brought him home after his K-pod misadventure, fearing that he would get into trouble if she took him to a hospital.
This poor kid.
Sebab nanti
Oh,
anak
no.
dia akan jadi macam ada kes dengan polis, lepas tu dengan tempat kerja ke
My
kan, dengan
friends just
benda-benda
gave me
isu-isu
this
macam
shit.
ni. Itu yang kadang-kadang mak bapak ni macam dia takut
That's how it
anak
goes,
untuk
I guess.
macam anak buat salah apa pun, macam benda tu kalau dia dapat bukti pun dia takut nak bawa benda tu ke polis lah.
As the problem of drug-laced vapes grows in Southeast Asia, what is being done to stop it?
Oh shit. Alright, what's the solution? Almost done with this, boys.
In Singapore, where vaping is illegal and drug enforcement strict, K-pods have still become a serious issue. One so severe that the Prime Minister Lawrence Wong addressed it in his recent National Day rally.
But people are still smuggling vapes in. So the vapes themselves are just a delivery device. The real danger is what's inside. Right now it's Etomidate. In future, it could be something worse.
There we go,
stronger,
Etomidate.
or
The
far
first,
more
I think, one
dangerous
of the
drugs.
first mentions of
So we
Etomidate.
will take much tougher action against vaping.
Actions at the border between Singapore and Malaysia have been stepped up to prevent the smuggling of vapes. Foreigners caught with vapes, even for personal use, now face stiffer penalties.
Currently, we are doing BTR, break the routine ops, where we will conduct vehicle checks at random. We will do preliminary questioning to the drivers, and then we will proceed on to do vehicle checks. So vapes, we usually find them in the hidden dashboard, or they may have hidden compartments in the vehicles. Like it can be anywhere. It can be at the front
You can randomly
of the
check and
bonnet,
shit.
and then under seat compartment, fuel
shit.
gauge compartment.
One challenge of cracking down on K-pods is the very drugs that they're laced with. For example, Etomidate has legitimate use as an anesthetic in hospitals. And so, for many jurisdictions, it was not considered contraband until recently.
เมื่อไม่ใช่สารเสพติดเนี่ยมันอัตราโทษมันก็จะเป็นเรื่องการนำเข้าส่งออกซึ่งอัตราโทษอาจจะไม่ได้สูงมากนักการควบคุมการเข้าไปควบคุมก็ทางตำรวจหรือผู้เข้าไปใช้กฎหมายก็ไม่ได้ไปควบคุมครับจีนเขาวอร์นิ่งมาว่าจีนเขาถือว่าเป็นยาเสพติดกลุ่มที่1นะครับกลุ่มที่1ก็คือใช้เกี่ยวกับคล้ายๆเฮโรอีนตรงประเด็นเนี้ยครับสำนักงานปปสเราก็นำเอาอีโทมิเดตเอาออกจากการควบคุมขององค์การอาหารและยาให้มาอยู่ในกรมควบคุมของประมวลกฎหมายยาเสพติดซึ่งจะต้องให้กระทรวงสาธารณสุขเป็นคนประกาศครับว่าสิ่งนี้เป็นวัตถุออกฤทธิ์ต่อจิตประสาทประเภท2ครับ
Singapore too has moved to classify Etomidate as a Class C drug as of September the 1st. In Singapore, Class C substances are considered less dangerous than Class A drugs like heroin, but are still tightly controlled.
So there are many people, especially the young, they pick up vaping thinking that it's all right, it's not as harmful as cigarettes. And then our curiosity, our coercion, or out of just ignorance, they wandered into substance abuse, which is what we are seeing now for Etomidate. Yeah. That's the situation we are facing, something new. No? This change in landscape means, therefore, we have to adapt our current approach to substance abuse.
However, challenges remain. Because substances like Etomidate are synthetic, their chemical formulations can be easily tweaked so that they become new compounds.
So when we have a law for certain type of chemical in a drug, then the syndicate come up with a new formula of drugs which not included in our schedule. So we are reviewing periodically so that all the components are involved in a schedule to enforce these.
Ridiculous.
Tapi kalau kena tangkap pun saya rasa diorang lepas. Kalau dadah tu saya ketik, unknown tak tahu dia, biasanya lepas lah. Itu saya cakap akta racun tu kena naik, masukkan dadah-dadah ni. Pasal dia sintetik, dia macam-macam orang boleh campur. Hari ni kita tahu ubat bios, besok ubat racun tikus boleh masuk pun kita tak tahu.
What's more, outwardly, K-pods and regular vape pods are virtually indistinguishable. K-pods have to be chemically tested in order to tell if they contain drugs. This makes detection particularly difficult for law enforcement if chemical formulas keep changing.
Basically, we have to a step ahead from the syndicates. We have to enhance our intelligence gathering. Secondly, we have to enhance our forensic capability. That means we have to talk to our forensic providers so that they can have an advanced method to trace new drugs. We have strengthened our cooperation with interagency sharing information. So with the exchange of information with the counterparts in other country, we will know what's happening in other country as well. So we kind of prepare before the new chemical coming into the country.
Controlling the supply of these substances is an important part of the equation, but it really needs to go hand in hand with strong prevention efforts, working especially with young people who might be very specifically targeted, especially in online forums, to really educate them about the harm that will cause, and to make sure that they have a social network and a family network around them that can support them.
In Malaysia, one group taking up that prevention fight is PAVAC, the Parents Against Vapes and Cigarettes Association. Led by Dr. Nurul Muiz, their goal is to close the information gap for parents and teachers.
We leverage on social media, and recently we created our YouTube page, and we are running a monthly social webinar series. Kalau ada sahabat-sahabat yang ingin mengemukakan soalan, boleh juga type di ruang message.
Today, PAVAC has more than 100 active members in Kuala Lumpur. Its webinars have reached thousands of parents and teachers looking for guidance on how to talk to their children about vaping.
Prevention is really a key issue, and so is treatment for people who are already involved in using these substances. And that's a field where we're still at the very beginning of understanding of how to best support people who are using these substances, because it's quite different from the more traditional drugs where there are more established ways of doing that.
As for Shafiq, today he is selling herbal balms instead of K-pods.
Nice.
He was arrested 4 times between 2021 and 2024, caught each time in possession of drugs. After short stints behind bars, he eventually found his way to Kolam Merah, a halfway house in Kuala Lumpur that takes in ex-convicts and addicts. Here, they are given jobs, counselling, and companionship to rebuild their lives. Kolam Merah is founded by 35-year-old Syed Barkath Amin. Residents of the halfway house learn to make and sell herbal balms. It's one of several small businesses that sustain the community and provide its members a modest income.
Bila saya diterima masuk ke dalam Kolam Merah ni, saya dapat sokongan daripada Abang Syed, Abang Arifin, dengan tim leader yang lain. Dia sambut saya dengan baik. Dia anggap saya macam keluarga. Kat situ saya rasa keselesaan, saya rasa ada satu ikatan persahabatan. Saya rasa macam diri saya ni dihargai. Saya rasa diri saya ni bernilai di mata dia orang. Sebab saya tak pernah rasa macam tu.
Bila diorang datang dekat tempat saya ni, kebanyakannya diorang ni baru rasa dunia luar tau. Maksudnya 3-4 hari aku nak untuk dia percaya.
A number of people
Good to see, but I think we got most of our
bayangkan. Yalah, sebagai ibu bapa ataupun
info
kawan-kawan
on the K-pods.
anak-anak perubahan adik-beradik, kita nak cek.
As the problem of K-pods grows in Malaysia, so too has the call to ban vapes altogether.
We cannot identify those who are vaping, normal vape and drug-induced vape. So that's the reason Royal Malaysia Police come out with a proposal saying that asking the country to ban the whole vape.
Been a long fucking watch session here.
Parliamentarians like Yunuswaran Ramaraj have pushed for a nationwide ban on vapes. And in July, the Ministry of Health announced that they're mulling such a ban.
Come
it
on.
remains to be seen if this issue will be taken up by lawmakers.
As a government of the day, we have a moral responsibility to save the younger generation because they do not know the consequences of the impact towards their health. Malaysia, approximately, we spend almost 8 to 10 billion to save those who are been affected by this vaping and cigarettes. At the end of the day, the government bearing the cost, especially the health departments. So if we're not going to protect the younger generation, then we have a very serious crisis. It affects the entire, the economy, the country, the health.
As for Shafiq, he says his mushroom-using days are behind him. He's vowed to stay away from vaping altogether.
Saya ambil masa untuk adapt dengan keadaan.
No way.
Saya rasa macam banyak ada semangat yang baru untuk teruskan hidup. Saya dapat cari pengalaman yang baru, saya jumpa orang yang baru hari-hari.
This LeBron James shit is crazy.
Orang lain. Saya rasa seronok kerja macam ni. Lagi satu, dapat ubah saya daripada dulu saya yang senyap, tak reti nak bercakap dengan orang. Ni hari-hari saya suka bercakap dengan orang. Rasa happy lah.
Yes, let's go, boys. All right, that was fire. But we're gonna be moving on. I'm gonna take just a quick, get that off, intermission. Get this. And we are going to, oh, this is not, no, this is my personal shit. We are going to, where is this shit? There it is. Going to get into recording real quick for these case reports and see what the hell is up and give more of a commentary here as well, but I'm just gonna take a second just to chill out for a minute and just have a swim before we jump into this. So brown shit is crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's get into recording this now. Let's get double audio going. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's record this. All right, here we are with the case reports, y'all. This is coming from the live stream. I got quite a lot. Not everything will make it into the video, but yeah, we're just gonna go with the flow and just show, like, all right, what's been going on with this K-Pod situation, this Etomidate, how it literally will make people zombie-like. I don't know if we'll show any direct footage of it. There is some that exist. I don't know about in Japan specifically, but we got reports from Singapore, I think Taiwan, I think Hong Kong, of course some from Japan as well, but got quite the variety just to show what's going on in some parts of Asia right now and how it's slowly spreading around. Because it's effective, man. It is effective. There's been social media trends of it actually, and gets pushed quite a lot as it's ketamine. So yeah, here we go. Right away. This is the biggest concern. One of the biggest concerns is falling or crashing something, I think. And this is probably most likely what's going to cause a death. I don't believe we found any overdoses. We'll see in the video. But man who caused fatal crash in Singapore while allegedly driving under the influence of Etomidate to be charged. It's a 34-year-old guy. Caused 1 death, 2 injuries. See, 2 cars and a motorcycle. And if you just decide to drive, regardless, bro, you're probably, Let's see. Yeah, after the crash, the driver did not help to offer those injured and fled from the scene. So a hit and run. Failed to report within 24 hours as required. Tried to get away with it. See, a 20-year-old unconscious later died. All right, this poor 20-year-old who was just on a motorcycle living his life dies because this moron is driving under the influence of some K-pods, bro. Some other, or 2 other 28-year-olds, I believe. Yeah, just see a spinal fracture, right ankle, liver lacerations, head injury. This dude is not having a good time. Still, even if he's still alive. Sought treatment for pain. Maybe, lucked out. One person lucked out. Didn't get it too bad, but still. Alright, here's one report. There's also another report. Accidents have risen above about 600 in a year from 2024 to 2025. Alright. And between 2023 and 2025, this is just one of 38 traffic accidents linked to Etomidate use. 19 of those cases has led to a death. It's a little conflicting information, but alright. Just to give an idea. Alright, and we have, this might be an actual, this looks like an actual photo of it. Yes, someone got fucked. Look at that motorcycle. That dude got fucked up, unfortunately. RIP to that guy. And fuck this 34-year-old for fucking up these young people's lives. Alright, moving on. We have this X post. Oh yeah, I guess it's another video. So here is, this is some of the clips I've seen in one dude's video. So we'll be a little. Look, I even did this, dude. Look, we've been meaning to make this for a fat ass minute. But here's some. I probably won't include this in the video. It's a little too direct for my liking. I have no subtitles to work with here. Do we have subtitles? No. Yeah, I'm still working on my Japanese, so. But we got some actual footage, some quotes probably. Well, actual news report though of this being a problem with multiple people quoting on it. This is an interesting one. Another one I probably won't include for today's video, but it's an interesting one. One of the earlier ones too, 2024. This dude is reporting.
Life herself while high on K-pods. If you don't know what K-pods
Yeah,
are,
he said-
my friend just earned her life herself while high on K-pods.
Just ended her life because high on K-pods.
If you don't know what K-pods are, it's best that you don't know. If you know, you know. Guys, these are the dangers of all the trending new substances, guys. Avoid K-pods at all time. It is sad because before she actually jumped down, right, she was on the phone with somebody that I know, and she said that I'm afraid of heights, and she said that I needed to take few puffs of the K-pods, and while she was on the phone, she did it.
She probably lost consciousness.
Guys, this is the dangers of K-pods.
It's not like I said, you fall.
Rest in peace. My friend just.
R.I.P. this dude's friend. So if you're, you're just out, you're on a building, skyscraper or whatnot. Maybe you're just out and about, on a rooftop, just vibing somewhere, man. It's like, ooh, yeah, let me get a nice hit of this this vape right here, man. Use consciousness, use even just motor loss control. You might even still be trying to just hold yourself up, but you just stumble right off the fucking roof, and it's sad, man. Moving on to the next one. All right, this is the huge one I saw for Japan. The actual Japanese baseball player, Ryutaro Hatsuki, got tested and caught with these the K-pods, or zombie cigarettes, right? So the Hiroshima Toyo Kart player, 26 years old, used the substance. He claimed other players around him used Etomidate, so it wasn't just him. So it's a little thing going on with these Japanese baseball players. They got exposed to this, and they just probably knew some people that were pushing it. Wouldn't be surprised some of them were just friends and whatnot. And it's like they were around it. It's like some of them fuck with it. They spread it around. Obviously, some probably go overboard with it and end up getting caught and whatnot. So, see if we can find anything, any little details about this. Used at his home, small amounts. Road trip. So he first encountered it, So it was still, it was pretty popular around this time. Just in May in Japan, they banned it. This is probably what, honestly, this whole incident, I wouldn't be surprised what escalated this ban. Because it being people from a professional baseball team like this getting caught up is a terrible look. Terrible look. And Japan, prides itself heavily on baseball. But he went to a bar with his senior teammate, or no, an acquaintance. A friend of his senior teammate. Obviously, just in that video we just saw too. They didn't tell him what it was. It's just some type of tobacco, and they just inhale it, bro. Then also, the legality thing of it seems to also, be a huge thing here, that people try to push that, hey, it's illegal, you won't get in trouble for it, it's fine, it's just a different form of tobacco, it's in this gray area. And really, I feel like a lot of these populations in Asia have been taken advantage of on this ignorance, right? And just being sold or convinced that it's all right. It's cool. And that easy, yeah, trust that can be found is, yeah, causing, I think, this $1 million market to begin with. But yeah, trust betrayed. I mean, let's see. Each cart was damn, boy. Damn. He said, yeah, 1 million yen, which is a lot. Yeah, obviously $6,000. But each cart was costing 140 to 160. He bought 10 at a time on 5 occasions. That's nuts. The last time was December 16th. He was just on his bed. I'm dead. Told it would help him sleep. I'm dead. Yeah, there's so much lying going on. It's kind of insane. Alright, this is probably, yeah, I know they suspended bro. Then they investigated all the other players on the team. Obviously, if he made that claim that other people were using it. Yeah, it's just rough. Yeah, this fucking guy got exposed pretty much to some negative influences. Decided, I mean, based on what he knew, it was all right. I'll be right back. I'm gonna turn off this air. But yeah, very unfortunate for this guy. We'll move on to the next one. Yeah, it's another post on it. Yep, just to give a look at the situation, right? Just give us a look at the situation. This might be another one. I don't think so. Get our translate going, please. Alright, this one, I don't know if we'll include in the video either, but it's interesting to look at still. Got Taiwan connection here. Taiwanese woman arrested in Haneda. 4 kilograms of Etomidate from Thailand. Largest drug seizure in Japan. 4 kilograms. I believe she tried to sneak it in her briefcase in these little compartments. They found it pretty much. Yeah, 4 kilograms in a suitcase. No, yeah, 4 bags at the bottom of the suitcase. Just trying to get by. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money, man. So, yeah, just a little quick drug bust. All right, next one. Another one, a man caught smuggling, again, it's also another name for it, space oil. Instant noodle packets, bruh. 46-year-old, yeah, he's just trafficking, drug mule and this shit. Yeah, the seasoning was, oh, wow, yeah. 15 kilograms. Yeah, well, South China Morning Post. Man, all right. All right, another one. All right, this is the one we saw on YouTube, actually, so we'll pass on this. All right, here's a 25% of 130 suspected space oil patients treated in Hong Kong public hospitals last year were minors. 25%. Okay. The youngest being, yeah, this 11 years old. I had to pull this one up. Although it may seem that users can control the amount they inhale each time, actually they cannot. Yeah, because we don't know the dose. Use increases over time. Yep. Alright, this I think is different. Alright. Well, still interesting to see that. Another Hong Kong post. Space oil. Okay. Alright, this one actually has some quotes, that's why I wanted to throw this in. I went to an alley to smoke, and I kept smoking while walking to the NTR station. I smoked to the point that I was lightheaded, and my arms and legs were shaking. I was looking at Google Maps on my phone, and when I finally got to the station, I thought to myself, fuck, the police were there. 20-year-old said she blacked out and did not remember what happened. The police officers took her to a police station and arrested her for possessing Etomidate. Yeah. Yep. It's illegal. Where was this? Yeah, in Hong Kong, yeah. It's illegal at this time, so... Convicted of possessing a Part 1 poison in the Pharmacy and Poisons Regulations and handed a probation order. Yep, pretty common, what I would suspect. This is not her, but this is just mental health, yeah. We're talking about this, I guess. Spent time in a psychiatric hospital, said space oil gave her a relaxed feeling and distracted her from reality. She said she smoked up to 7 pods in a day. Alright. 7 pods in a day, bro. 7 pods. If this doesn't show that this shit can be addictive, alright. 7 pods. Staying in a hotel room so her parents wouldn't find out and will black out multiple times. The world becomes blurry, and I feel like I'm on a cloud. I won't be thinking about work and all my family and relationship stress. Escapism to the max. Escapism to the max. She became addicted last year and started using it regularly in August to numb herself from problems at home. Yep, it's the story. Raised by her father. For more than 10 years, my mother never cared about me. Then suddenly, she tried to talk to me, and said she wanted to take me back. A lot of other factors too. Complicated relationship with friends. And when I smoked space oil, it felt nice. Felt like I could escape from this world. Look at this. I didn't even see that. We got a little poster thing, dude. What? What? Ooh, a little what, dude? What? Let's try and zoom in on this in a second. Yeah, K-Pod's in Taiwan, zombie drug. Now, this is a pretty good post. This is a really good post, actually, bro. This is also referencing the other post we just had right before this. Okay, just going over the price. Chloe said it's easy for people to get their hands on space oil. Last year, before authorities began cracking down on space oil, people could easily find sellers on Instagram. Okay. She added many users were also drawn to the array of fruity flavors that space oil comes in. It's not like weed, which has a very strong smell. Once you smoke weed, people will know. She said, yeah, alright. Notice that searches in Chinese for space oil on Instagram came up blank, but searching the word space and astronaut with the rocket emoji still drew up pages selling space oil pods. So yeah, just getting around, and ooh, this is another, an advertising piece we can take a quick look at. We can actually just see it from here. See, like, doing $2.80 for 1 pod, I'm guessing? Here are the different flavors, whatever the can let's actually just do this real quick and see if we can do a quick little translator on here. Oh, I need to snip this guy actually. And just see. Wait, please. Alright, translate this whole. And see if we can get something real quick. Alright, it says new stock, new flavors. Here, I'll just, that was quick. Taxed. 5. So that's not even a deal. Alright, buy 3, get 1 free. Here's your deal, right? Mango, strawberry, pear, grape, honeydew melon, leche, pineapple, green apple. Alright. That's crazy, bro. That is slangy candy style wording. Guaranteed potent, guaranteed good looking, comfortable, smooth. These motherfuckers, bro. Alright, let's see this though. Let's see if we can see what is space oil. This is so interesting. No standard components. Called Atomic. At least this PSA is on point. Look at this art too. This is pretty dope. And this is pretty dope for space oil vaping. What? This is a dope ass poster, bro. I mean, they're on point with their posters right now. Wherever this is, man. And where the fuck? This has to be. Is it China? I think it's China. But still. They have it in English though, like control poisons. Alright, yeah. Prescription. It might be Taiwan actually. Other drugs, yeah. This is so on point actually. Effects of space oil, tremors, dizziness, unsteadiness, appearing intoxicated, hallucinations, irritability. Think about emotions. Long-term severe damage, physical, mental health, including addiction, memory loss, seizures, coma, and even death. Oh, it does. It also disrupts adrenal steroid secretion, accelerate aging, and deteriorating the skin. That's pretty crazy that they have this. I wonder how accurate some of that is. Then space oil contains drugs regulated. Etomidate. Maximum penalty. Alright. This is such a great poster and PSA right here. That is amazing right there. But, alright. Let's get back to this. Alright. Let's see if there's anything else quote-wise that I want to... Is this another dude? How many? Lecturer, alright. Hugo 15, alright, here's another one. Hugo 15, a former space oil user, told how he can get hooked after his friends let him try space oil. Day after smoking it for his time, he bought his own supplies and smoked space oil almost daily, sometimes to the point of unconsciousness. One night, Hugo sat down on a step outside 7-Eleven to smoke after dinner. Before he knew it, it was 3 a.m. He only realized he blacked out for 6 hours when he checked his phone. That's insane. The incident made him realize his addiction had gone too far and decided to quit. Took him around a month to fully kick the habit. It was more than my body could bear, more than I expected it could do to me. I was afraid I could do something stupid when I'm in that kind of state. Peter, who smoked space oil for around 3 months in 2023, after his then girlfriend introduced it to him, said space oil was the most addictive drug he had ever tried. The 33-year-old, he was a teen warehouse worker, said he was so desperate he thought about stealing space oil from his friends, even sometimes lying to them to convince them to lend him money so he could restock. Alright, well, I mean, yeah. Yeah. Underground space oil drug lab. Instagram, Telegram. I wasn't fixing any of the problems I had, Chloe said. I also started to have pimple breakouts on my face because of space oil, and it was really getting too expensive. Yeah, spending a lot every few days, $1,000, $2,000 on her supply, on top of hotel rooms, and asking friends to lend her money. Looking back, thought it was quite crazy, and I was completely addicted. Well, this is a fucking one. Got some great quotes from this one. This is A1. It gives some real good insight for this and how it can be. Check the next one. Alright, this one. Teens behaved erratically after allegedly using drug waste K-Pods and Pungol. And I think these are actual pictures of them, like, dudes on the floor. This dude's looking like he's dragging his fucking leg, like a zombie activity for real. Dude's still on the floor. Dude's hugging over here, like another dude, like, it's like, I'm alive. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know how this shit is gonna make you feel mentally like that. Maybe it does influence some empathy of sorts, but there's a video of it. I don't think. Oh, fuck it. We'll just see. Oh. Alright. What the fuck, bro? Alright, this is just speculated, I think, actually. Yeah, I think it's just speculated. It's not an actual confirmed K-pod use. Just somebody said they see teens be vaping outside their store like that. That's probably what it is. Space oil vape. Oh. I guess this is technically a case report, not the type of case report we were looking for. Let's see. 13 adolescents, 7 female. Okay. So 8 guys. Right? Or no, 6 guys. Wow. 7 of them were female. Okay. More girls than guys. Aged 14 to 17 or 18 pretty much, right? Average of 2 months, some all the way up to 8 months before going to the hospital. 7 of which took other substances. All right, that's going to for sure increase your chances of bad shit happening. Confusion, dizziness, unsteady gait, suicidal attempt. 5 of them had hypertension. This is a interesting effect. 1 patient treated. Okay. And 3 out of 6 peak cortisol. That's important. Yeah, more with the cortisol stuff. And yeah, dude, I mean, these are all under 18, 13 people. Believe this might be like somewhere in Asia. I'm not sure exactly where this one's from, but this is, yeah, man. A little more medical case report. This might be, yeah, this is 4 days ago. SUV driver goes to the test against traffic, test positive for drugs. Then somebody was saying, yeah.
Kau mabuk? Apa? Kau mabuk ke?
Your people, yeah.
Kau mabuk? Bodoh betul lah.
See, a lot of people saying it's K-pods. It's a vape right there. Yeah, there's a vape right there. Look at this mess. I think this is like the biggest concern, man. Is just, yeah, this is Malaysia. It's obvious the biggest risk. You try to hit this shit, you are driving or whatever, and you're like, fuck it. Yeah. Yeah, it's no bueno. Next. This is alright, 25, yeah, Singaporean woman. For waiting her court hearing, she ended up overdosing, I believe. I want to say... Unless this was a different one. No, he just passed away while waiting for a court case. Unresponsive in a hotel room. Okay, I don't know if this is related to the K-pop use. Honestly. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say this is directly. But good to just check it out. No, thank you. What abuse of zombie cigarettes among Okinawa youth raises alarm. So a woman in her 20s was rushed into the hospital after inhaling what's known as laughing gas vape. She lost control of her body, collapsed, and struck her head on the ground. Again, the huge concern with this. So you're gonna fucking bust your shit hard as fuck. When in the ambulance, she experienced intense headaches and drifted in and out of consciousness. She tried the substance before, but this left her shaken. Something hazardous, she said. It contains Etomidate, zombie cigarettes. Yeah, they're calling it laughing gas, but it's not laughing gas, man. See, it's like watching an insect. Wait, overdosing causes bizarre and erratic behavior. It's like watching an insect writhing after being sprayed with insecticide. It's what she's describing the overdose to be like of this. The drug has also led to accidents and disputes. Some of her acquaintances caused car crashes and after inhaling while driving. Like, it's a common thing. It's kind of crazy. Like, I get some alcohol, bro. It's kind of crazy just how established this has become, and just after 2-3 years, like, it really is kind of bizarre. She's quit using it since. Don't want to cause any more trouble for my parents. If I keep doing things like this, someone will die. Yada, 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 yada. More info. Yeah, we're just looking for more the cases and people who've actually done this shit. And some quotes, what they have to say here. So, alright, this is, Okinawa, man. Okinawa. It's in Japan. Official. This is what? It's last September. Alright, this is that. Alright, this is another Malaysia. I was high, but that's my pet. Alright, let's see. Viral video of drug and I don't know. I don't know about that. If we'll watch that. Yeah, it's a video that was circulating about her. Okay. This came up for a reason. Yeah, magic mushroom piao piao. This is the other name, piao piao. Let's see, yeah, right here. Okay, dramatic public awareness poster. And yeah, look at it. It's fire. This is a fire fucking poster, bro. Like, you can't lie. Like, main ingredient of space oil, Etomidate. Yep. Yes, sir. Okay. What is this? What is this? The hell is this? What's up, bro? It's not what we're here for, though. We'll just watch it. Here.
Benda yang boleh menyebabkan halusinasi diletak ke dalam
There we go. Flavor man, vape.
ataupun dikenali sebagai magic mushroom. Weh, gila. Benda yang boleh menyebabkan halusinasi diletak ke dalam
I don't know what bro was saying, but I'm pretty sure he's talking about what we're covering.
Maut pun hang boleh terbayangkan. Contoh, benda yang tak masuk akal
2024.
semua berimajinasi. Flavor mushroom ni kes dah lama, tapi ramai juga tag aku untuk explain kenapa lah flavor ni boleh menyebabkan halusinasi. Okay, baik macam ni. Pada tahun 2019, Pusat Racun Negara terima satu kes. Remaja belasan tahun ada terracun dengan flavor vape. Keburukan manipulasi.
It's not actual magic mushroom.
Flashback balik macam kenangan-kenangan recreational drugs. Gila weh. 3 hari.
Alright. Okay. It's a pretty good one, I guess. There's a video. Oh, this is a pretty cool one. This is just... I believe someone in Okinawa made this song against doing K-pods, bro. I thought it was just wrong. Let's just watch it real quick. Like, stop doing K-pods. What are we talking about the effects? Like, if it inspires 1-2 people or 9,500, so be it. If it works, it works. Either way, express this emotion, because fuck people doing K-pods getting dummy off them like that. I mean, it's a proactive message and whatnot. I fuck with it. Alright, and now these last three. These last three are huge. Massive. Because I think, yeah, these ladies at the Straight Times doing some work with these articles, man. Doing some work. So, alright, obviously we're gonna have some on the quotes here, but we're gonna... These are longer ones, so we're going to go a little bit quicker, but I was told the vape I took was known as a K-pod. Okay. Alright, so yeah, there are messaging apps, we know that. Prices of the drug-laced vapes range from $50 to $100. So, and here's an actual Telegram group message. Hey bro, I'm looking for vapes. Saw that you're selling K-Pods. Happy vapes. Are they different from normal vapes? Oh yes, they're different. They're filled with chemical that imitates the high like ketamine. Do let me know if you're still interested. I just restocked on my K-Pods. Oh, so it's not real ketamine? It's actually Edo, but the feeling is like K. That's why they call it K-Pods. I don't know how legit this is, but it looks like could be fairly legit, I guess. Alright, alright. Less legal, more convenient alternative to drugs that promises a good kick with a few puffs. It's how we get marketed for a young person who's already addicted or already using. Yeah. K-Pod's next cool kid on the block. Here's another promo that I found pretty crazy and just seeing like, alright, they actually have some ketamine and just like, love the emojis that we got going on here. Cause I never like see like half of this and shit. Like, what the fuck is this? What the hell is this, bro? Is it the Elmo shit? Like, what the hell? Alright. They actually have legit ketamine. They seem like the rocks and stuff. Alright, whatever. This shit's hella tax. Terrible price. But maybe it's good. Maybe yeah, best quality. Who knows? But then they had the actual just K-Pods, bro, and Ket Pods, right? And K-Pods promo, a whole fucking thing over here. Look, convenient, a nice high, urine free. That I guess that might be a benefit compared to ketamine, right? Might not make you have to piss like a racehorse or whatever. 85 per piece. More, you get a lower price. Oh, we also got some Ritalin, 20 milligrams. $2.50 for a box. I don't know how much is in the box. Whatever. Ritalin, I mean, whatever. You need your stimmies too, I guess. But look at all these flavors. Grape, raspberry, blueberry, honeydew, grape, strawberry. I don't even know what this is. SP3, Infi, strawberry, mango, blueberry, Coke. Maybe it's a type. I don't know. Green tea. I don't know what this is. TGY. Green apple, Thai mango, strawberry. Remember, cheap doesn't mean good or meant good. Our products guaranteed to be drug free. Ensuring aren't, I'm guessing. Ensuring a clean and stress free experience for customers. Need to release some stress from work or anything? Order this. Try a puff for yourself. Terrible. This content creator, I don't know, he got a hold of this. Pretty interesting stuff. Here, I found this one. We found that from here. This is yep. Taiwan, Hong Kong. We know that. Nothing too direct, but. More direct on the sellers, I guess, and good to see like how that is. See, they look like zombies. The way they walk, the way they talk and move after smoking K-Pods. Interesting. Alright, here's the next one. They thought it was vaping. Space oil drug problem among the youth. Alright. At the time, I thought it was just vaping. 19-year-old Chris, vocational student. It was only afterwards that I found out it was called space oil. And yeah, it was first introduced by a friend, sparked the beginning of a months-long downward spiral into drug abuse. We usually pull out our orders and buy a couple hundred capsules at a time through a dealer on WhatsApp. WhatsApp, alright, yeah, makes sense. Promoted on social media, messaging apps, of course. Videos have gone viral. Teenagers abusing in public, passed out on trains, buses, staggering around while just fucked up. One offender was only 13. Yep. Here's some info on the substance specifically. Users underestimate the effects. Chris found himself vaping the substance several times a week whenever he was out with friends. I get dizzy and wobbly, but would feel very carefree and easily amused. The girls with us would also be less inhibited and allow more physical contact. Yeah, okay. I mean, the more you get into it, bro, fuck. It's like the more grimy it gets, right? Started to think space oil was quite dangerous. The frequent vaping also began to feel increasingly meaningless, so I decided to quit. Till space oil was banned in February, users just didn't see it as a drug. They thought it was just vaping. So what is this? Alright, just workers on it. It was the field that most attracted me to keep using space oil. I could let myself go, space out, and fall straight asleep, said one 13-year-old rehabilitated user. Two or three capsules of space oil in a week would get from a friend on Instagram or WhatsApp. Would either borrow the money from friends or steal it from my mom. Alright, here's another little pose, bro. I'm fucking so duh. Let's translate this one too. Fuck it. Translate this guy too. Oh, we need another snip. We need this next snip. Alright. Okay. Now this more. New shop opening, guaranteeing good quality goods. Won't leak, won't stink. $330 for one, $500 for two, $880 for three. Big discount, $1,700 for seven. Wow, this is again inflated for whatever the Hong Kong currency is. Flavors: mango, honey dew, pomegranate, or guava, watermelon, peach, leche. Man. They're really pushing it over there. Like, they're really pushing this over there, man. Alright. And then, alright. There's that one, and we got this last one. Daily cocktail. Lax attitudes driving K-pod scourge in Singapore. A lot of pictures. See. Yeah, they tried to get to this dude's car, and he tried to drive and speed away. Oh my god. There's more bust. 28 vapes. 114 vape pods from the car. Okay. And Singapore, man. I think they're really just on their shit a little bit more with this and covering it. So when Joe wanted a vaping fix, the 15-year-old would whip out his phone, scan through Telegram groups, pick a seller. It was honestly very difficult to quit. Some of my friends brought their K-pods to school, and they would ask me if I wanted to use them. We would usually just hang out on the toilets to vape. Miss classes, get high. Okay, man. See, there's a little sting. Sting operation of a K-pod seller. It's kind of crazy, man. Like I said, like there's a lot of shit going on with this. Like a lot of activity going on with this. K-pod users often young. Seller 22-year-old. See if anything else sticks out. More pictures. There's just more data on the situation too, of just substance use in general, which is nice to see, like the behaviors and like why this is actually going down. Other countries, other countries have it. It's other platforms. See, it said in July, 600 Telegram groups advertising or selling K-pods have been taken down since April 2024, reaching more than 27,000 members. So, good chunk of people who, if they're interested in drugs, I mean, that's a good chunk of money, man. Dangers of K-pods. Obviously, no, it's the dose. We don't know if there's adulterants. It's not good. Worst case I've heard is someone breathing. That's the worst. That's the closest to death. So here's, we watched that. Nice. Okay, it's a long one, man. It's a long one. Yeah, people think it's safe. It's not. Alright, well, gonna end things there, man. I think we got some good footage on this. No. And yeah, we will really record the next part. I'm gonna go over the script one more time and we're gonna record the next part. Get this video stitched together and upload, man. So I'm gonna end things here on this live stream. And yeah, 3-hour stream, whatever. And yeah, we'll hopefully have this done by today.